Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Whoopee!
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Yeah, it is! Yeah, it is! It is Teddy Friday, Tom.
TD Friday. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. Welcome to another A Mediocre Time. I'm Dan.
Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler
Hi.
is here. Butler is making fancy drinks.
Yeah. I like this whole setup we got now,
Yeah.
where Butler makes us a cocktail,
Yeah.
a delicious cocktail
Fancy.
from some spirit from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits.
This is a listener recipe that Butler is using today. But welcome to the show. To all of you joining us live on Twitch, thank you. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. You can join us live. We stream Monday through Friday, sometimes on the weekends when there's like Super Bowls and stuff like that. But yeah, if you've never caught us live on Twitch, check it out, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, and search Tom and Dan Live on YouTube. It's exactly the same. Is there anything we need to, there's a lot going on today. But
Speaking of Twitch, for those of you who want to listen live during the week, we start recording most days at like 10:30 and go to like 1 or 2.
yeah, no later than 11 typically.
And we record during the breaks. We leave it on. You could just download the Twitch app. It'll notify you when we're recording, and you could listen to audio only if you're driving. So if you just want the live show, now you'll get it as we do it because we record all out of order ACTs. That's the only way to listen to exactly the way we record Monday through Friday.
It's very odd because you'll get like, for instance, yesterday we finished up what?
All the way through Monday.
Yeah,
Monday's done.
Yeah, Monday we did all of,
Yeah.
we did the
one segment for Tuesday today.
Yeah.
Friday show was recorded on Wednesday on location at Hourglass Brewery.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still mad that Butler won the axe throwing.
That's my fault.
You can listen to that.
That's my fault.
No one's heard it yet. You're
Yeah.
spoiling it.
So,
God. Why would you do that?
It's my fault. I let the crew down, as the oldest member.
I did spoil it.
But
Yeah, you
also,
did. It hasn't aired yet. No one's heard it.
But also, it's fine. It's totally fine.
Hey,
Butler wins. I lose. I have the upper body strength of Pappy Troll from the movie Trolls. No troll left behind, except I'm a pussy like Pappy Troll. Remember, he wants to leave the trolls. Remember, in the beginning of Trolls, he's
could
like,
not get through that
no
movie."
trolls left behind. But then as the movie goes on, you realize that the reason they ran from the Bergens is because this motherfucker's weak. He's spineless.
Pappy Troll is what I call my dick. So let's go to Seth because Seth is in. I
Oh
think
boy, line one.
he's in the parking lot of his doctor's office. So it's,
Seth, can
Seth,
you hear
are you
us?
there?
I'm here, yes.
So Seth was gonna be in today.
Yeah,
doing the
I had his
news.
commercials ready to go, everything fired up. We had a drink for you.
Yeah,
A
didn't
drink for me?
Yeah, and a special drink that cures COVID ready for you.
pulled out of our Johnny shark riding event because you got a little too.
Yeah, you gonna pull out of everything?
Well, the Johnny thing was just payback for me pulling out of my grand opening.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That's fine. Well, one less person to give me corona on stage.
I knew that one was going to happen.
yeah.
Like, I knew that one was going to happen.
It's actually better that way.
There
Anyway,
was so much corona there that I could see it in the air and I was dodging it. So it actually ended up being pretty good because there's so much high concentrations, bright red.
So, Seth, you didn't come in today because you said you woke up with a scratchy throat.
No, he said he woke up with a stuffy nose.
Yeah, stuffy
I
nose.
wouldn't
No. It's my throat more than my nose. My nose is a little stuffy, yes, but it's my throat. And
Quit
it's
sucking
not only
cock.
that, but Tracy 2 days ago felt the same thing. and she's got an appointment today for a COVID test. And I'm just going into my doctor, and usually he has the COVID test there, so he's just going to give me. I'm just going to get one there.
No, what? He just goes out to his Porsche and pulls one out of the glove box.
How do you not have a pile of at-home COVID tests that
Yeah,
you give
Tom
yourself
does.
every
I do.
day?
I have
I
at
ran
home.
out. I only have about one box. I should have bought 10, and now of course the Walgreens is sold out of them. It's a
They have them at
crazy
Walgreens. Is that a thing, really?
Yeah.
I never even-
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 for $25.
I've been buying them and putting them
What?
in the Tom and Dan mystery boxes.
It's just it's an instant test. Like they give you,
actually a good price.
15 minutes. Anyway, I'm not talking about COVID. Seth,
If it turns blue, you have a baby COVID in you.
Oh.
it's like a pregnancy test. There's a line.
it is.
I'm looking at the line. I'm
pee
like, come
on
on.
No, you don't pee on it. You shit on it.
No, bullshit. I did that once. I did that once for a sperm test. Like I jerked off in it, and it measures my sperm count. It says if I'm good or not, and it was half of a faded line. So I
You
can't tell if
jerked
I
off
was
on a
good or
pregnancy
bad.
test.
You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
I'm gonna see
No, it was
I
an
gotta see
actual
what
sperm test. It was a sperm test.
If I get a girl to
Serious.
sit on this, it'll turn blue.
Seth, we don't want to talk to you about any of this.
I want to bully you for being so scared.
When you guys bring it up, I don't bring anything up. You guys talk.
You got allergies. You'll be home. It's fine.
Yeah.
You'll be working out later today.
Yeah.
This is the new, missing work for any sort of.
I see it out there.
got this, but it's a great excuse, by the way. Like, I might have COVID. I got to miss work.
And then
I
because-
bet a lot of people are doing that.
You know, everybody's
Man,
doing
I would
it.
do that. I'd do the shit out of that if I
Everybody's
was working.
doing it, but they do this. Everybody does this. They're like, because they know that you're going to be overworked. So if Tom's like, I can't come in, I got to get tested, I'll go, and then I'll be like, he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Everybody, goes, he's doing the right thing. I've never seen more people go, he's doing the right, mad about doing the right thing.
Anyway, Seth. So Daniel sent us a picture, and I could tell it was.
No, I had fallen asleep. This is my wife.
Oh.
She's probably giving herself a wank to this commercial.
She took a
That's for you.
picture of a screen, and on the screen it was you and Tracy standing there. You got your shirt off, and then Daniel told us that it was for some sort of protein commercial that was playing during the
She's got her
Olympics.
shirt off too.
Yeah, I have it up. I mean, and by the way, Seth said she was in one. He sent me both commercials to watch, and he's like, she's in this one. No, she's in both commercials, you idiot.
Well, she's in both. She's more in the other one, I think. I thought.
They're both really good, though.
So-
You guys should both be very proud of yourselves. You look amazing.
Well, this is the first time I ever heard that Seth is like in some sort of protein
These
commercial.
commercials are great.
They must have some sort of budget to play like obviously local during the Olympics or whatever, but that's expensive. If the
Yeah, but they saved money on the talent.
Well, let's not get crazy. It wasn't prime time. It was during streaming. And if I know anything from my radio days, streaming commercials are toilet paper.
Okay, it was only streaming.
Yeah, it was only streaming. But it was.
I thought it was network.
I watched the Seth, and I watched the Seth commercials maybe 80 times. They are wearing you out on these commercials, man.
If it's just some streaming commercial, now it's
Yeah,
like,
but that's how you get the Olympics, because that's how you get the weirdo sports.
Yeah.
Like my wife was watching competitive race walking, and then we're watching sprint canoes, and
By the way,
and stabbing,
could have
Egyptian stabbing.
more viewers streaming. I'm just an old man and associate TV as
Right,
being
I
more viewers.
understand.
They're like it could be
Yeah.
10 million.
Howard
viewers.
Stern hates podcasts. I get it.
So does he still hate him now? How old is he?
Yeah, they're fighting
70?
again. Him and Rogan are
Yeah.
fighting again today.
Oh, are they?
Oh yeah.
Okay. At one point, you're just like,
Yeah,
what the hell
come
are you
on,
doing?
shut
You're
up.
still with the Gary and everybody. So Seth, how much did you get paid for that commercial?
I got paid in other ways. I banged
Oh,
them
so
out.
the owner gave you a blowjob. Yeah.
All right.
I've always wanted to do a commercial for Pepsi, and then the CEO of Pepsi, I'm like, now suck my dick.
Did they just give you free protein powder or something for a year?
Are you at the doctor?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, you guys cut out. What was that? It was cutting in and out.
Well, did you get it free protein powder? Are you in the lobby of a doctor's office?
No, they paid me. I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It
He
wasn't the
doesn't
greatest
tell
I've
you.
ever been paid, but it was for like a half a day's work, and I was like,
It's good. Do you want to watch the
I didn't know anything
commercial?
about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't watched
let me
it.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, here, I'm going to play your
It
commercial.
was more than you pay me for 4 hours of working there.
It's a good
4
commercial.
hours.
All right, here I'll play both. Here's the first one. Here's the
It
first.
should be 0, by the
This
way.
is this is Seth and his girlfriend in the new commercial for Black Bull Nutrition.
What's up, wimps? I'm Ripped Ralph, and I'm here to help you shed those
Oh my god, I hate it.
what you gotta do.
Rip
He's
Ralph.
Rip Ralph. Hold on, I'll go back.
Did he call us nerds?
By the way, I made that name up. They were trying to think of a name for me, and I was like, "What about Ripped Ralph?" I'm like, "That's great. That's the best name ever." So I was like, "All right,
It's not, but I mean,
Seth, we were not impressed by that name.
No.
We were laughing at how stupid it was.
well, whatever. As long as it makes you laugh."
I was about to scream. Who told you to say that?
I was like, who wrote the script? It's terrible.
it's funny that Seth's so happy about Rip Ralph, and on the tip of Tom's tongue, he's like, "That's fucking stupid."
Also, not only is that
It's either that or
stupid,
Jack to Jake.
it's stupid for you not to say it's Seth Petrozelli because you
Exactly.
have a something. Like, now
This
you're
is
adding
why
legitimacy.
Seth needs to loop us in on these things, man. We've done commercials.
That's what they're paying you for. You can get any ripped regular Joe Schmo to
Yeah.
be Ripped Ralph that no one knows. But if you say, "Hey, it's Seth Petrozelli," that's a name. You have a following. The people know you
Yeah.
at least from the Kimbo
I mean,
thing.
you could have gone, "Hey, Narps, it's Seth Petrozelli."
And by the way, that Kimbo, they keep hammering Kimbo documentaries and videos, and every other week a BDM is tagging you in some Kimbo documentary, right? It's like, why are they bringing up Kimbo Slice?
I don't know.
The same thing with Swimpley's. 3 years old. People keep sending me emails.
Do you want to get through this, or we'll never get
Sorry.
through it? Okay, here. I'm going to try to let it roll this time. Here we go.
What's up, wimps? I'm Ripped Ralph, and I'm here to help you shed those unwanted pounds off your body. This is what you gotta do. Lift! Lift!
Why did Tracy look so disgusted
You also
with him?
need protein. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And last but not least,
That's a bad idea.
the goat.
Now there's a tastier way
Who's
to get
that
your
guy?
protein. Try Black Bull Goat Whey.
Goat whey?
Goat milk protein outperforms regular whey protein. So don't make a bad decision. Drink Black Bull Goat Whey.
There you go. There's the first one. Black Bull Goat Way. What do you think?
It seems like a bad sketch TV
Bad.
show.
It really
Like, it
does.
seems like an internet sketch TV show.
I thought it was pretty good.
A fake commercial, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But I thought it was pretty good.
it's like, try my goat cum. That's,
my
what
God.
that's what it seemed like.
Oh, my God.
That's what it seemed goofy.
I did not.
Filmed at Full Sail.
I didn't get that out of there.
So
How's the goat way? Is it pretty good?
Oh, I think it tastes amazing. The texture is what I like best about it. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's not really
Goat
chalky,
cum.
but it has like a texture to it that tastes really good. It's good. I have some if you guys want to try it.
Yeah, I want to try it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I like how you're just like, try this goat way. You'll look like me. I mean, the Seth works out 2.5
There's
hours a
another
day.
one. Do you want to see the other
Eat
one?
seeds only.
Here's the other one. Here is this is Black Bull Nutrition Vitality.
Works out for many different reasons. I created Vitality Fix because I saw that there was a need for it. They would not have the energy to work out. If you take 2 of these a half hour before, you find that you've had more energy and more vitality in every aspect, including
Wait
the
for
bedroom.
Tracy.
Oh, the
Tracy.
bedroom.
It's all natural. It's all
And then Tracy gets to do
She's
the.
winking at the other guys.
Yeah, she's winking at this hot black guy.
Yeah.
This guy's gorgeous.
Yeah, there's like, he's got the
Yeah,
vitality.
look at
I know
this.
what that
Oh,
means.
yeah.
in every aspect, including the bedroom. Vitality Fix is all natural. It's all organic. You can feel the difference right
can
away.
feel the
It's not
difference.
only for men. I do have a version for women also. It helps them with the aging process.
Wait a
So
minute. It's called Black Bull Vitality. Hold on a second.
Oh.
Okay, hold on.
Wait a
Do they know what the
minute.
bull is?
I gotta excuse myself.
Seth, do you know what the bull, what they call the bull in a, you know what I'm
The
saying?
stud, like the stud.
Yeah, it's the bull. The bull is the guy that rams your wife.
Yeah,
you
then
videotape
yeah.
it.
And then he hands you the spoon, and then you're eating your own cum.
No, it's the
It's
bull's
his.
cum.
It's
yeah.
the bull cum.
Yeah,
Oh, it
yeah,
is?
No, yeah.
Or the goats.
It's
I
never
don't
your
know.
own. I
I've
don't
been
even
doing
think
it wrong. I only eat my own. I'm not eating his. That's disgusting. COVID's out there. I don't get COVID. How'd you get COVID, Daniel? I ate this black dude's cum. That's going to be a bad story. That's a bad story.
Good story.
I'm not into that. That's
So,
why it's a
Seth,
bad story.
You got a piece of any of this? You get some sales?
Yes, I do get a piece of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense. Now
Well,
I
but the
understand.
so they're trying to get everything started right now. They have everything like going, but it's a brand new company. She did it a long time ago, stopped, and then she started it again. So,
nice.
It's slowly getting rolling. So
what happened with that Street Fighter movie you were
we don't talk about that anymore. Come on, it's not happening. Probably. It's lost in like licensing and shit, like Capcom and all that stuff.
You guys didn't get the rights to it before you started filming it?
No, they did. No, they did not. That was their thing. They wanted to show them how good they could do it, and then present it to them.
That's not how you do that.
Yeah. We went down that road, and then the big company said, we're going to sue your ass. And we're like, oh.
I'm gonna make this new flavor of Coke, and then go and
Mr. Coke, I have something for you.
Yeah, and then see if they want to buy it from me, or I can sell it myself. All right, Seth, go to the doctor.
Yeah, we hope you feel
better.
Let us
know the result.
Tell Tracy we hope she feels better.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, and we love you, and just take care of your health, and let us know what the deal is. Let us know if you have it or not.
I got another story next time I come in too, because I had it all planned out. Not planned out, but I went to the hospital about a week ago. So.
Oh, hold on. Where'd you go?
I don't want to talk about it now. It's a huge thing. I woke up like 2:30 a.m. I think I couldn't breathe. I might have having some sort of crazy panic attack. I don't know. I paced around my house for about 20 minutes. Contemplating not going, trying to talk myself down, and I honestly thought about what you guys would make fun of me, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm going anyway," and I just went.
So you
had nothing, right? You had a case of the having a fart attack.
Yeah.
You got too high again, didn't you?
Yeah. The hospital was like, "Get the fuck out of here! There's COVID here."
You're gonna get COVID, you idiot! Wait a minute,
panic attack.
Are you the Black Bull comedian?
Are you Rich Ralph?
Hold on, Rick Ralph has COVID.
Hold a second.
Not Rick Ralph.
Hey, everybody, get in here. The guy from the Go Cup commercials got COVID.
All right, we'll talk to you about it.
Not funny.
I accidentally hit it too fast.
Get him out of here.
I moved. I'm sorry. Seth, I'd never hang up on you, buddy. I apologize.
New merch on the website right now. We've got...
I'm wearing one of them, I think,
Me
right?
too.
Yeah.
I got the new girls
Well, they're going to look at yours and mine, but it's very, very cool.
We've got the new ACT shirt. It's kind of inspired. Eric Pabone did it for us, and it's like old school skateboarding collection. We also got the old school skateboarding collection sticker pack. We got the new girl shirt. We've got the hot tub and mini fridge merch up on the
that stuff's
website.
Going pretty fast too, so snag it while you can. That's limited.
And anybody who orders something, hot tub and mini fridge, will get the promo frisbee, hot tub and mini fridge frisbee with that free in your order.
And the gibbets.
Oh yeah, Tom and Dan gibbets for your Crocs.
Yep,
and a BDM hat as well.
Here, I'll show you guys. There's the Tom and Dan gibbets right there, and we got a new one that should be here. I want to say in 2 weeks. That is BDM only.
Yeah. And if you want those gibbets for free or for the cost of one delicious beer, you can go to Hourglass Brewing in Longwood.
And in Orlando now.
Yeah, and Orlando, the tap room in Orlando.
Oh, you split them between the two.
Correct.
That's the way to do it, man. Go get a delicious handmade beer and then get a free gibbets for your Croc.
Just ask for a Tom and Dan gibbet, and they will hand you one for free. It's a new sponsor of ours. We're excited to have them aboard. So what do you guys want to start with?
I mean, really, it's dealer's choice today, buddy. I'm feeling good. I'm extra caffeinated.
Probably too early for dump them out. You want to do mail on mail? Or
let's do it. Let's do some mail on
mail.
Hey guys, thanks for calling 1-800-HOT-DICK, the place to find real action with real men. To make it even better, we've got new low prices. So low, we're practically giving it away free.
If you are a man seeking a woman, press 1. If you are a woman seeking a man, press 2. If you are a man seeking a man, press 3.
Mail on mail.
Mail on Mail brought to you by Gringos Locos. They've got a location downtown, Milk District, on Michigan Avenue, by UCF. You could order online, obviously, and get their catering at gringoslocos.com.
The catering's the best thing to do. You make it very easy and very simple for your end of summer parties.
Ask for a free koozie at our Milk District location. I think most locations will have them. Just ask for a Tom and Dan gift at checkout, and if they got one, they'll give it to you.
Indeed.
Let's start with mail.
Okay. Slipped myself a Mickey. Hello, Tom and Dan. When I was younger and first moved out of my parents' house, I moved in with a couple buddies. We were a typical house of 20-something boneheads, a lot of partying and nonsense. We were all broke, so everything was communal. We knew each other our whole lives and didn't mind sharing what we had. One morning, as I was leaving for work, I noticed a nice fat joint on the coffee table, so I said, I don't mind if I do, and I grabbed the joint, headed to work, and started smoking. Right away, I noticed it was a little off. It burned weird, tasted funny, and just didn't seem right. So I did what anyone would do. I kept smoking. All of a sudden, I was seeing stars, my head felt really weird, and I noticed I was lost. I finally figured out how to get to work, and as I was the manager on duty that day, I unlocked the store and went to shut off the alarm. That's when I realized I don't remember my alarm code. After several failed attempts, the alarm company called and asked me several security questions to make sure I was supposed to be there, and then tried to figure out why I couldn't remember my code. They eventually just gave me the code, but since the alarm is so loud, I had to go to the stock room to talk on the phone, and by the time I got back to the front where the alarm panel is, I had forgotten the code again, so we had to do the whole thing again. A long story short, I had a very strange day, and at one point, one of my roommates called and asked if I had smoked the joint, and I said yes. He started laughing and said he had dumped a ton of coke on it.
Oh, my God.
I was a smoker, and that was it. I didn't mess with pills or coke or anything else, so my morning suddenly made sense now. It was a very strange day, and I was wondering, has anything like that happened to any of you? P.S. On the way home that day, I finished what was left of the joint and started the whole mess over again. Thanks, guys. Love the show. The fact that they just gave him the passcode after a few attempts, that doesn't seem right.
You probably had to prove that you worked there or something. I don't know.
Well, they had security questions and he couldn't answer them.
I've had that happen before where I've been on the line, whether it's a banking institution or I don't think it's ever been with an alarm company. But there have been moments where I've been able to charm, I think, my way past the person on the line. Now, I could be wrong. It could be just wishful thinking. Because the idea of them losing their job for something as silly as letting me buy security and then I'm stealing money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like I've called Bank of America before when something was going on and didn't know any of my security information. And I was able to kind of just fudge my way through it.
Well, you think the weed would make you forget your security code, not the coke, right?
Right.
Well, the coke would speed up maybe.
Could make him
the
panic
effects.
a bit. Yeah.
Okay, like maybe gave you the panic attack, which heightened your
inflated everything
your adrenaline, which
like
blocked
in the
your
moment.
brain.
Marijuana doesn't make me forget much in the moment. Like if I'm doing things, it's not like if I were in a car, I'd be like in high, that I'd be like, oh, I don't know how to do anything. Like normally it doesn't allow me to access like middle of the road information, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can get stuff that's right in front of me, and I can get stuff that's light years away. But the stuff in the middle, I can't get that stuff.
I think it's the panic attack that erases your memory, like because I've taken the wrong ratio of CBD, because my back. And I've been walking around my neighborhood, and then if it hits you, and all of a sudden,
I rub CBD cream on my lungs every afternoon,
especially sativa, and you have it spikes like your anxiety. I look around and be like, I don't recognize my neighbor. Like, and then I'll be like, I have Alzheimer's. But it's all just an instant.
This goes into a topic I put on
attack.
Dump 'Em Out. There's a topic I put on Dump 'Em Out that I'll just say it. I do when I get really high. And I freeze, I have a certain series of fantasies that I put myself in.
What do you mean?
Okay, it was on Dump 'Em Out, but we'll take it off. If I get really, really high, for years you guys have known that I'll do that one where if I'm playing sleep sounds and it's thunder, that I'll pretend that a warring nation is moving their troops towards my village or my castle, and pretty soon we'll be absorbed. Obviously, I'm guessing I'll be killed.
Oh, yeah, they'll get through the gates.
Yeah, they'll get through the gates, but I'm sitting there sleeping. The new one I have when I get over high and do what you do, where I'm like, I don't know where I'm at, is I'll be under my blankets, and I will convince myself or pretend that I have been taken captive by an alien race, and they have ensnared me under this blanket, which is a
cocoon
membrane.
style.
It's like a cocoon membrane, right? And I'm under it, and I'll stay super still as if that membrane has sucked me to some sort of pod series behind me, right? And I'm with you. I'm human fuel for their ship, right? And I'm in there, and like it's absorbing my energy from the back of me. But I'm in there, and we're just kind of cruising through space, and I'm a battery, a human battery.
Yeah.
Why would you?
I don't
that
know.
Makes you calm?
It kind of does. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm part of something bigger.
Yeah, right.
I'm part of something bigger. Fuel the ship. Fuel the ship.
So what makes you calm?
Nothing makes me calm.
A fantasy about being abducted by aliens.
Nothing makes me calm.
And being put in some sort of Matrix-style human battery pod.
Human battery pod.
Where it's powering the mothership.
Did you see me get hot? I got hot all of a sudden.
As you rocket towards a different galaxy.
Fire in the sky.
That makes you calm?
I mean, I don't know.
Your wires are crossed.
One of your matrix wires is crossed.
Yeah.
Let's play a voicemail.
All right, we'll try. Man, we had a bunch come in yesterday. Let's try this one.
Andrea commented in the chat, "This is what I live with every day."
Oh gosh, she's
poor
in there.
Andrea. Listen, Andrea, I feel your pain.
Yeah, you know how difficult it is to get your wife to fuck you after you've crawled out of an alien pod. My God.
Yeah, like when Daniel's telling me crazy shit like this, I imagine. I'm like, imagine if I had to blow him right now.
That's what you imagine? Your wires are crossed.
His wires are crossed.
No, but that's why I think of
worse than an
Andrea. Then I
alien
feel bad
ship.
for Andrea because that's what she has to do.
Way worse than an
I
alien
feel bad for
ship.
both of your wives.
Oh my God, this is hilarious.
Hello, everyone. A few months ago, I tried to get my boss to come on as a sponsor, knowing full well that there was a 75% chance that she would blow it during the first interaction, which she did. She was very excited. She was coming up with all kinds of Tom and Dan ideas for whatever shit product we sell. Don't worry about it. But when she got on the phone, she couldn't help herself. She said, "I'm not arms folded. I'm not buying any Merc." She said Merc, not merch. I had to say, hey, you know, they foot the bill for the merch. It's called merch. And it's a way of keeping themselves accountable. She looked right past that and said, "Well, it's bundled into the price, so I'm paying for it." Okay, whatever. Anyway, an hour later, I got an email from Tom.
True businesswoman.
Called us on our bullshit.
Stone cold business bitch.
This lady knows what she's doing.
I like this lady.
This sealer is diluted. Like, oh shit, she knew.
Telling me that it's not going to work out. No shit. I just wanted to know, what were some of the more uncomfortable interactions that you've had with potential sponsors?
Oh, too many.
Did you see
all of them?
The segue?
Years ago that Tom proposed to his wife with a ruby engagement ring, and then when I did it, he fucking made fun of me. He called me a poro piece of shit. I love you guys.
This guy's my
like this guy.
Okay, sir, please write me back. I want to send you a gift because you made me smile. I was look. This is the voicemail I was telling you about. It was cracking me up yesterday.
Is this Dunkin' Donuts?
Well done.
He's chopping. He's chopping again.
I almost threw my drink.
He did look wrong for it. He looked
at me like he wanted to hit me on the head, on top of the head. I hope that's not the new reaction.
It wasn't fucking Dunkin' Donuts, by the way. They'll fucking sue us.
Yeah, don't say that.
America runs on Dunkin'.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, that was one of the more awkward ones that I had.
That was up there. It's in there.
Because
that's a true story.
You usually, and this has happened a lot, a BDM that worked for a company convinces their boss that they should advertise, which is great, and we appreciate it.
We do appreciate it.
We got a lot of advertisers with that. We got precision.
I would say that's the number one way that we do business is through a series of relationships or secondary relationship.
Yeah.
Whereas old school, we do business just like your dad did, just like my dad did. It's very old school.
And we appreciate that. And
we do.
And if you're a BDM out there that you're like, hey, this would work.
All jokes aside, side. Like, this guy's got a
and
good
it can
attitude.
work well for you because most likely it'll be successful because our advertising does very well and it's affordable.
Well, we give a fuck. That's the number one thing I would say is we care about it. But this guy was new school. She was old school. We already kind of knew going into it that it wasn't a good fit, right? I mean, I don't want to throw any shade on this lady because, look, she knows what works for her business, just like we do, right?
Yeah.
I won't, and that's the thing, and we're lucky in this regard because a lot of sales in like advertising and media is not like this, and you got a cold call and you got to do your sales pitch to the owner and the whole thing, and we don't do that. Like we knew right off the bat at the beginning of that meeting, like the owner wasn't really into it and was like took the meeting only because of the BDM.
But we take meetings. That's what you do.
So but I'm not going to try to sell them. And even at the end, she was like, "I'll try it," but we just said, "Nah, it's not going to work," because if they're not into it and they don't even understand,
we got to meet in the middle.
Or if they're like I don't want to.
I don't want you putting yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable with making the decision to work with us, right?
Yeah.
And if that doesn't fit your vibe, that's completely okay.
I will tell you at the beginning of this business, when I didn't have much experience being the salesperson and like selling the advertising, I went to like some meetings and we tried to get like bar advertisers first because they're usually the easiest. Plus, we knew the BDMs would show up to bars.
We know we can drive people. We know it's an easy place before COVID that we could pop in and do a quick appearance if we needed to.
And so I had a like a bigger like group of bars. Like a lot of bar owners own groups of bars with other people. So it's kind of like 5 different bars. Big bars. I mean, this is multi-million-dollar businesses, and I remember I showed up. It's just me, and I had my envelope full of the sales stuff. This is back when it was just me and Daniel. And Samantha was helping us do stuff. But this sales stuff, it was like Daniel was helping me print out the stuff, and Tony was helping me organize. Anyway, I showed up, and then it was all the owners in one table, and then like they're like, "Here we go," and they pulled up a seat for me, but it was like. These guys have been in the bar business, and like bar owners can be intimidating because they dealt with
bullshit.
A lot of shit. Like you have to be tough to be a bar owner.
You deal with a lot of shady characters.
Exactly, and you're not afraid to tell people exactly how you feel, and like
they're blunt.
Yeah, and so it was literally like all the owners together. They had another meeting, and then just like, oh, we'll take this one too.
Yeah.
So, and then I remember sitting down, and I was like internally shaking and nervous about like selling them the podcast and the idea. And this was back in like fucking 2012 or something, like 11 stuff. Even podcasting wasn't that big, so people were skeptical and they're like, "What is this? You're a junkie."
Yeah, I can remember that being.
You're a junkie.
No, you're drunkie. No, because you have to get over that too. It's like, of course, and I understand that. Like,
worked out for Hourglass though. They really like the fact that you were drunky to bear.
It did,
but
they brought it up.
Like
official brewery of Drunky to Bear.
I would think someone willing to like wear a drunkie suit and do dumb shit for so long and be the clown would just be an idiot, which is true.
I wondered where
he looked right in the
camera. Anyway,
all right.
Email?
Yeah, email.
Hearing people doing it. Hey guys, on a Friday Free Show, you were talking about hearing other people getting it on, and at first I couldn't come up with an experience where I remember hearing someone else. Then it hit me. Holy shit, I have 2 extra cringy experiences with this. The first one happened many years ago with my teenage daughter was a baby. I was still in college, a single mom, and living at home with my parents. The baby was asleep in her crib, and I had a date over. My parents had gone to bed to give us some privacy while we sat on the couch in the living room watching a movie. So we're sitting there watching the movie, and suddenly we hear a sound. My date assumes it must be coming from the baby monitor behind us, but I jump to my feet in absolute horror because I know that sound, and I know it's not the baby.
You know that sound.
I've heard this sound before. It was my goddamn parents having sex. Although she doesn't look the part, my mom is one of those people that is really loud. I didn't know what to do, so I just ran into my daughter's room and stood there in the dark, trying not to wake her up. My parents were in their 50s at the time, so I mean, good for them for still getting it, but goddamn. The second experience happened about 10 years ago. I was with my daughter, my then husband, one of my close girlfriends, and my brother. We were all sharing a big room at a huge rental house on the beach where another close girlfriend was getting married. I was pregnant with my youngest at the same time as my oldest was only 8, so while everyone else went out partying, we hung back at the house and went to bed. I got woken up late night / early morning by some commotion. I'm laying there motionless in the dark, realizing that the commotion is my brother and my friend hooking up. They're literally within arm's reach of me and my kid. Ew. I should have yelled, "What the fuck are you doing?" at the time. But like Tom, I don't do confrontation.
What, so you just stayed there and let them fuck it out?
So
No.
yeah, I just laid
With
there
your kid
and
on?
wrote it out, listening to these two drunk assholes having sloppy sex.
Yuck.
I wanted
Oh,
to barf
shit,
all over the
yeah.
place. Now that I've written this all out, I'm even more disgusted, realizing that the only people I can recall having sex are my immediate family.
Oh God.
I think the night I got detained in St. Augustine, I was really, really drunk. I think my roommate was fucking his girlfriend, and I was my mom was very disappointed in me, and I think I cried myself to sleep listening to him fuck.
What I don't understand.
I think I remember hearing it, and to block it out, I cried.
For the loud people out there, I had a buddy like
I'm
this.
not a loud guy.
I'm
just not you. I'm not a silent guy.
Is it that they are not embarrassed or not? They don't care.
It's like a
because
release. It's like a Viking war cry, I think.
or
to
they
some
can't
people,
help
right?
it. Like, what is it?
To some people, it's just like it's like.
Well, I contend in these specific stories, the parents, it's their house. If they're gonna fuck and they want to fuck loud, that's their business. You move back in with me. I'm a grown adult. You're a grown adult. This is my house.
What's your question? The origin of loud fucking?
Well, no. My question is, don't the people that are loud realize, like, hey, we've got other people that are right. They're gonna hear us, and this is gonna be awkward for everybody, like hearing us fuck. Right? Like, that's not awkward for people. Like that would be weird for me.
Really weird for
in
me.
the same question, I would ask you, why aren't our wives quiet when they whisper racial slurs to us at Applebee's?
They can't help it.
Can't help it.
They can't help it.
Can't help it.
Like, I feel I remember I had this buddy that he was in town with his girlfriend, and they went into the room, like, it was the middle of the day, and like I told the story. I was sitting out in the living room, and they start fucking loud, like, to the point where I was like, I have to go outside because
I would love to watch you sit and listen to somebody fuck.
I was like, I was like, how?
Was it
What's
like,
happening
yeah,
in there?
Yeah.
It was like some sort of porno,
Yeah.
but like over the top, where I was like, they're doing this to bully me.
Yeah,
or something.
they were.
But
they wanted to push you outside the house.
I went outside and started messing around with the pool.
I used to bang on the wall when my roommate Chris would plow his girlfriend Ashley. Shout out to Ashley. I think she still listens. Works for Firehouse Subs. He would be plowing her good, and I just bang on the wall. I'd be like, stop!
Would they?
Yeah, they'd tone it down a little
Okay.
bit, but we all lived together. I mean, it got to a point where we were just like, come on, this is the same guy that used to leave his condoms under the bed, and then the whole room would smell like fish.
Fucking gross.
Yeah, he was a gross individual.
I'm questioning whether people are just not embarrassed by
Also,
other
the
people
second
knowing
story,
that
if you're drunk, you don't really think about other people. You're
Yeah,
just
you're-
fucking.
you're
Although
getting
I
it.
could not do it next to a pregnant woman and their child. There's
Yeah,
no
no,
fucking
yeah.
way.
I've never.
That's a true animal.
I've never made love with other people in the room.
I have.
I never have.
I have.
I think all
I
of
have
you
too.
have.
Yeah, I have
I'm
too.
see, old pop ups, and I've never done that.
Yeah. There was a time in college and high school
Yeah.
that it was like just everybody was open about.
I feel
that.
like when you're with me, it's special and it should be maintained just between us.
Intimate.
I don't want to share that with
It
anybody
seemed like
else.
Daniel was in the marching band, and but there's one of these things are not like the other one. Are you guys in the marching band?
No,
I
I
mean,
was
Butler's
not.
the biggest nerd I know now. But I
That's
think
true.
when in high school he was like doing Xanax and
Dealing
Yeah, what
Xanax.
kind of high school kid were you?
Yeah, you look like a drug dealer.
Were you a partier?
No, I was a bit of a partier.
Yeah,
No, I was on the
Yeah.
swim team. I was on the sailing team.
Oh, he's still a fucking nerd then.
Sailors get the best Xanax.
Yeah, but he's like that jockey nerd that like does.
Well, jocks do a lot of drugs. Let's
No,
not.
He's like
No.
Vineyards Vine nerd.
and
Yeah,
jocks
yeah.
party.
He's like he comes from like that area and like where people like it's like rich white people.
No, I know. Yeah. Well, he's in the sailing team.
Yeah, that's what I'm
the fuck?
saying.
Who the fuck has a sailing team?
We didn't have that.
No,
yes,
yeah.
I was in marching band. Yes, I fingered flute girls. I did, and all that's real. All those stereotypes with flute girls and horny band people. That's all true.
We're 25 minutes from Biscayne Bay in Miami. At my high school, no sailing team,
No.
nothing like
No.
none of that shit.
No.
Anyway, let's do one more email, then take
Email?
a break.
Email or voicemail?
I'm sorry, voicemail.
Voicemail. Let's go with. Oh man, I got a bunch. Let's try this one.
Hey guys, Dallas BDM here. I wanted to talk to you for a second about celebrity nude sites. Dan, I know you're a favorite of a couple. You've mentioned them on the show before, but God damn it, I'm pissed off at these fucking sites. You know what they do nowadays? There's all this new software and stuff that comes out. Now, just like 4 or 5 years ago, it was awesome because you had like the fappening and all these, leaks and people were getting hacked, and it was great. You could see the titties.
It was
people
awesome.
normally wouldn't show their titties. And it looked real, and everything was great. But nowadays they have all this software where AI will like artificially generate the titty where it's just a bikini shot, and it's they'll generate the puss, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's not as bad. It's like you look at it, it's like a wavy. I can tell it's not real.
It's a real picture of nudity.
I don't want to jerk off to that or look at that.
He wants it stolen from their phones, and he wants them violated their privacy.
Real?
I went through the people at their hotel room.
Disgusted by the CGI.
That is terrible.
By the way, this is the beginning and like of all. Every celebrity will have some sort of CGI nudes of them.
Most of them already do.
Oh yeah, and most of them
deepfakes
already
are out
do.
there, man.
And
I'm
then
CGI nudes.
and it'll be impossible. So even if you do have real nudes out there, it's impossible to determine which is the real and the fake ones because it's just like it's essentially like you threw 1,000 cards on top of one real card, and then it's impossible for the internet to sift through which is real and fake. So it actually is better for people that get their shit hacked and then have nudes on there because it all just fall into, hey, this could, and you could always claim that it's fake too, right? So any nude now is like, that's not real, that's CGI. Impossible for anybody to know, really.
Pretty much. I remember years ago, people would do like fakes. Like we would even have friends that like really good Photoshop people, and they'd do a fake, and I couldn't tell. I'd be like,
oh, now it's
amazing,
Well, now they got the video, and where you have someone talking.
I mean, the best way to sort of combat it, like secretly, and you really shouldn't have to do this because you shouldn't have to guard whatever's on your phone. But I mean, people are always going to be weirdo hacking opportunists. But anyway. I mean, if you make yourself like the type of person where it would seem impossible for you to ever take nudes, that's a great way to combat it. Because there are certain people that they'll do a fake that I'll see that looks legit, but I'm like, that person would never do. You see what I'm saying? Like it's almost like you have to work on your perception. If you can get to a point where you can hold some sort, like then you could even do it. It wouldn't even matter because people aren't going to believe it, and that's kind of what you want.
And also, like if there was a nude on the internet, you could just say it's fake,
right?
And we'd be like, it looks real, but they all look real. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's it. It's
beneficial to you.
All right,
there's a nude of you on a DVD, isn't there?
Oh
no, it's just it's not. I'm not nude.
Well, what are you?
I'll go and pee-pee.
I go to pee-pee.
So your dick was out?
It was, but it was like 90s style of a handheld camera.
90s style, you kind of...
No, I'm just saying, like, you can't probably...
It was a prosthetic penis.
Yeah. It's a mini DV. It's hard to see. I didn't mean to make that rhyme. The name of the band, Sam, you love these gals, the Linda Lindas.
Yeah.
This is their second single entitled Oh. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time right after this.
When I see something, I wish I had shut up. And when I try to help,
Tom and Mini Purge live in the morning. Tried out something a little bit differently. That's some R&B. That's actually my pick of the week this week. That is, where's my notes? Gotta get my notes here. That is Wake Me by Nigel Hall off of the Spiritual album. Before that, you heard the Linda Lindas. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan.
Let's talk about what you mixed for us today, Butler.
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a compliments of Joey Mazant. So this is going to be his dessert cocktail of choice. Is going to have some Cooper's Mark maple bourbon, Cooper's Mark cream liqueur, some simple syrup, just a couple dashes of some chocolate bitters, and finished off with some maraschino cherries. Maraschino.
That's good.
I don't think we know how to say that.
Yeah,
I think I'm
butchered
fucking
It's
it up.
maraschino, like and
Maraschino.
cherry.
Okay.
Marty Maraschino. You guys never watch Grease? Come on.
No,
No, I don't
Marty Maraschino is what Seth played in that stupid commercial.
If you guys buy some Cooper's Mark, send us a social media picture, hashtag TDABC, and you could win TD.
Saw one this
ABC gift
morning.
card.
Keep sending me the recipes too, and we're picking a winner every week. I got gift cards and swag going out to you. So
Yeah, and get creative. If it's something you thought up or whatever, send us something. Show at TomandDan.com.
So most every week, Butler tells us a tall tale about something. Whether it's old school, him sailing somewhere.
Well, he was on the sailing club,
He
so
sailed
now
the
I might
club.
believe him.
He navigated the entire globe. He worked at the chateau.
His times in Old Perry.
He sold snowboards. He
Emma
sold,
Stone's his cousin.
He sold beer.
He was on a Dawson's Creek episode.
the Shadow
Don't know which
Baxter.
one.
He was on Nickelodeon's.
He ate the slime.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
So I think we were talking about the Olympics.
Has Titanic pieces.
And we'll
Rusticles,
I think we were talking about the canoe sprint,
Yes.
which we'll talk about later in Dumb 'Em Out because it's awesome. But and then Butler brings up, he's like, my grandfather was going to carry the Olympic torch one
He
time.
didn't go right into it like that.
Oh.
The build-up when he said, my grandfather, guys, this may surprise you, but my grandfather was he was a bit of an elite Olympic athlete.
yeah.
And,
I forgot about
and
that.
I'm like,
part,
because
he was big in the track and field.
Yeah,
in
he
the
eases you
community.
in.
Yeah.
Because I think almost like he's testing the details he can get away with. He's like, I had an uncle. He was tall, and he liked running. He's a good runner. He's really fast. He was in the Olympics.
And he throws out shit we know. He's like, he was #1 in Canterbury.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. How would I even know?
He
Where
was
is it?
known to have the longest legs of the town of Canterbury.
And so, anyway, he starts going into his grandfather was going to carry the Olympic torch one time.
Yeah.
But
They wouldn't give him time off at the pottery factory.
They wouldn't give him time off at the old pottery factory. And then, so we started laughing, of course.
So he had to go over to the dusty glass, in the factory and use his Applejack hat to rub the dirt off. And he looked through and he saw somebody else running through Canterbury with the torch, and one tear came down in there. Get back to stamping the license plates, Jerry!
And so that led us into our conversation. I was like, man, what a dickhead, a boss that not let you carry the goddamn Olympic torch. Like, that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he wouldn't let you go out for 15 minutes. Not that long. Then Samantha said, I missed my, walking in my graduation from college because my boss at the time wouldn't let me miss a day of training. And I'm like,
It's a new job, And I would have been the first person in my family to graduate college.
Oh my God!
I mean, I graduated. I just didn't get to walk.
Yeah, you still graduate.
Yeah, but it's like the first person in your entire family, and you don't get to walk across through the whole.
But did you carry the torch?
I did not carry the torch either.
And then I'm like, what a dickhead! I understand, on there maybe it's like, oh, we only have this many days of training, but you could have gone to the next day, right?
They only had a certain amount of. That's what I was saying. I was like, I can't miss one day, and they're like, nope, because everything is something different every single day, and we don't go back. We don't backtrack and teach you stuff.
Well, they
Which,
had
by
a
the way,
point. They had
bunch
a
of
point.
dodos that were in that training class. Like, I was way smarter than everybody. I can catch up. I'll catch up the next day. But no.
I'm like, I can skip through the PowerPoint.
Yeah,
We're just all sitting here.
We'll be fine.
Also, it's like, work it out with Samantha. Let her walk across the damn stage for graduating college. Like, it's one of your employees. You hope to have her there for a long time. You're lucky to have a college graduate employee.
You hope to have her here a long time. She's already taken days off.
Exactly. That's how they looked at it. Honestly,
You just got this job. You can't even go through the entire training. You already want time off. Get the fuck
But
out
it's not like your life. It's not like I have food poisoning. Right,
I had the paperwork that said it was when my
food
graduation
poisoning
was.
is life or death. This is not.
But I was just saying, it's
You're making all my points. This boss stuff's easy.
Then we started laughing, and I'm like, man, I bet there's a lot of BDMs out there that got refused, like a life-altering event or a memorable day in their lives, like they couldn't take off because their boss was a dickhead or their company was like, no.
My wife refused to put a mask on in Dr. Phillips Center, and they tased her.
So Samantha, and by the way, way, the winner today is going to get Nikki Glazer tickets.
Okay.
From Hard Rock Live.
Oh, Plant Daddy, slow down.
Bang it out.
Somebody got a blowjob this morning.
We needed to give them
More
away.
than
Nikki Glazer is going to be at Hard Rock Live. We got an extra pair
Friday,
of tickets.
September 10th.
I'm going to be at that show.
So
Sam's
am
going to
I,
be at
yeah.
that show. Come say hi. Come see us.
You're getting my tickets.
Plant Daddy. This makes me so happy. I love it when Plant Daddy bullies you.
This motherfucker like the jizz shirt.
I don't know what that is yet, so I can't wait to hear about that.
That happened yesterday late. The jizz
What are
shirt.
some of the
So
submissions?
this one says, a previous job as a healthcare provider, I was exposed to COVID. My supervising physician told me, "You're probably fine, just come to work." I then tested positive a few days later and was the sickest I've ever been in my life. No
that's
one
not
covered
good.
my patients while I was out for approximately 8 weeks recovering, and I was still answering calls and still trying to do televisits from home while I was incredibly ill. Quit that job shortly after.
That one's that's
They
terrible.
made you work from home with COVID?
Yes, they did. And told her to come in after she tried to let them know she was exposed.
Which is also reckless to other people, right? I would imagine.
God
Yeah,
damn.
that's a winner right off the bat, right?
Although
almost criminal.
I'm thinking, okay.
So these are all almost criminal, by the way.
They are. I'm just thinking of my old jobs. Because I worked at Champ Sports, and the manager of that motherfucker had to deal with some dodos, including myself. But everybody who worked there was trying to nobody wanted to be there. Obviously, everybody hated their job,
Right.
and everybody wanted to call in sick or not want to work or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was one call out after another of the fake.
A little bit different though, mall job and then working in the actual healthcare providing.
100%.
You know, and you said you might have COVID, and they're telling you to come in anyway. That's
yeah,
That's a
extremely
tough, this
irresponsible.
is a tough one
Yeah.
for me. This one's hard.
But I'm imagining because there's still a Champ Sports in the mall, and I'm imagining that current manager is probably got.
Oh,
I
they
think
don't
I
give a
got
damn.
COVID 10,000 times
Oh,
from every
yeah.
employee.
You know the one
like for
thing-
sure, no one's showing up there. Like I got some stuffy nose. I think it's COVID. I'm gonna just keep out and
100%.
play it safe.
I mean, you can.
What are they
file
gonna do?
this- You can file this under dumb old man, but I know for a certain that I'm the only person out of the four of us that has been to a mall recently.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've noticed in those type of stores is that you are left alone, and there are very few employees.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it might be just the manager. The only when we went to the Croc store, which you're giving me shit about, get your gibbets at Hourglass or online. When you went in there, the people now stay sort of behind the desk, behind the cashier.
Yeah.
You know, it's
They
kind of
don't-
like you do your thing and you find
That's how it should always be.
I kind of think that I don't
Yeah.
need you. Like I kind of know, especially since I'm out.
If you need help, come to me.
If I didn't need,
I think the manager standing there behind the glass and be like, we could do all this online.
but you can't.
They don't even have I know.
I know that we he and I definitely agree on that. You know, but I still like to go see it, try it on if I can. You know, if I need be. But they're no employees and they don't go out to see you. They don't go like, hey, welcome.
No.
You know, that's
they
not-
can in this environment.
That's not a thing.
All right, the next one. I got a call that my niece was being born by emergency C-section, and her mom needed me to come watch their 2-year-old son. Everything was happening so quickly, and they had no one else. I told my manager I was leaving for the day and would likely not be in the next day, and that it was a family emergency. When I got back the following day, I was written up because I was shy 1 hour vacation time to cover the time I was out, even though I was fine taking the hour unpaid. So I did take the day off, but I got written up for it.
Well,
Because they were 1 hour shy on vacation. That's a
ridiculous.
dickhead move.
It is a dickhead move. Also, though, I can understand the boss being like, you're taking off because your niece is being born, even though it's like, yes, because I have to watch the other kids and stuff. You know,
Man, family stuff for me is really even as a boss
I think
because
I'm
I guess
defending the dickhead bosses.
Same person with the same boss. She said she also once had a doctor's appointment scheduled an hour before the end of her shift. When I put in the request to leave days ahead of time, I was denied and told, schedule that appointment on your day off. That's what your days off are for. I'm very familiar with these managers.
Okay, now there isn't. Okay, now I would prefer. I am a boss. If you guys do have family business to do, I would prefer that you do it on your own time, not on the time that you work here.
Sure.
I would.
Sure.
But it's not gonna I don't see a scenario where you and I are gonna be like, whoa, you know. That's just
It
not,
depends on the employee's past, and it's all subjective.
It's case by case, I think.
So, like for instance, if Samantha asks for something, I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And Butler comes and he's like, "Hey, I gotta bury this treasure."
Bury this treasure.
Whatever.
Hold on. That is probably the perfect. I want to hug you right now. That's the best thing. That's so perfect. That is exactly what he. In fact, when you were saying it, he was actually fucking saying it. That's the greatest thing you've ever said. That I can see that scenario. He's like dressed up like a fucking pirate. He's got the thing.
And I'm like, right now? He's like, I'm like, all right, you can do it.
The ship's sailing away. The ship's sailing
I'm like, it sounds like an emergency, but I mixed those. Anyway, yeah. I will say, not to defend the bosses, because some bosses are fucking dickheads, and like when I worked at Champs and stuff, like some of my bosses were dickheads. They have to deal with a lot of fucking employees and turnaround and shit. And like, I talked to some of my buddies in the restaurant industry, and they tell me stories about shit their employees try to tell them all the time. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, we could do the complete opposite too next week if you want.
Please.
About bosses that get shitty.
Yeah. No, I want to know I want to know the greatest one you pulled over on somebody.
Right.
Right? Because I bet you.
This lady says, I went into labor with my son at 32 weeks and had to have an emergency C-section. I called my boss to let her know, and she told me either I come in or I'm fired. And they did fire her.
Oh my god! I think that's illegal.
Yeah.
That one is definitely criminal.
You can't fire someone
her to
for going into labor.
Well, she said it was 10 years ago. But
Yeah. No, it's not surprising.
Yeah, you need to call.
Yeah.
And then, to yell at the managers here for a second, they do get I think so tired of it, like these excuses and whatever, until they get to the point where they're like, I'm gonna be a dickhead to every single person and every excuse.
That's part of your job.
Well, you have to go case by case.
Yes,
Like,
you
if
do.
someone's in labor,
Yeah.
you give them a pass. If there's the third time with food poisoning, most likely they're lying.
BDMXCon in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. He says, as a boss, you have to turn off sob stories. It sucks when people have legit issues, but the majority just run those same excuses and drop it when challenged. Legit emergencies, people don't care if challenged. I can see that.
And then again, it's employee subjective, right? It's like,
which
which employees are lying and which one's bearing the treasure.
Also, she can prove that she was in the fucking hospital giving labor. You know what I mean? Like,
she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, if she comes to work pregnant still the
And
next
then she
time,
says, hey,
she was lying.
I have exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, if she will have evidence of her excuse.
She has a baby now.
We used when we were first dabbling with the idea of having a woman come and help out with deep cleaning around I was pointing over like by my house.
Oh god.
Like I
thought you were going joke by the way.
No. We had this one lady that would come. I think maybe she cleaned for Crystal. Well, you live there too, but you know what I mean. And it was one of these things where like she came for the first 2 times and she did like an exemplary job, just really, really good. But then from there on out, like every third cleaning, there would be like some sort of tall tale that was told.
Yeah. It's a classic bad in life.
But I found myself enjoying the tall tale more than even the cleaning. Like I got excited when I'd play a game. I'd be like, did she show up? And Andrew would be like, no. And I'd be like, what happened? And she'd be like, well, her Dachshund dog, a little Dutch hound, her Dachshund ate 2 of her pain pills. And, like, in the short, like,
she had to rush it to the dog vet.
One of them was that she was carrying a birthday cake and smashed through a plate glass door and fractured her toes. And I'm like, yeah, you
it's
did.
elaborate
Yeah, because the more
Too many details.
Yeah,
it's red flags.
They were very like, the bolts on the front end of my Nissan Maxima came undone and my car started rolling into the street and then it hit a school bus and then I'm like, okay, hold on.
It's like there's no way this many bad things have happened to one person over and over.
It became
fun.
So less details are better? Okay.
It's I got robbed
taking notes over there
at 7-Eleven and they put me in the bathroom like a goddamn dog. I was saving a family turnover. We've seen it before. It's you're bad at life. You may or may not have an addiction problem, and you're constantly fucking up, and you have to keep, making up these excuses. And you got good at bullshitting over years because most likely you've been bad at life for like 8 years.
Now, and there's a sweet spot,
and you got good at bullshit.
There's a sweet spot on some of these people that are good bullshitters, where they're not a bad person.
No.
But you do know they're embellishing and you do know they're lying. And you almost don't want to, like this particular lady, I almost didn't want to, and I know my wife felt this way. My wife absolutely did not want to not give her the job because we knew she needed the job, right?
Yeah.
And it was helpful to us as well. But it was one of those things where eventually she had to put her foot down because it was just like, well, you're never showing up.
And some people are good employees, do a good job, nice. All the stuff is just they always have some sort of calamity in their life to the point where you start becoming suspicious and be like, this can't all be happening every
week.
You have 87 times like a different thing happened to you, like right before work.
Right.
Never on the weekends, only right before work. All right.
Jameson70 in our Twitch chat room
It is
says,
entertaining.
I had to call out on a new job and was getting shit. I didn't tell her why. She kept giving me shit, so I told her the truth. I had a hemorrhoid that exploded, and I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. She's like, okay, call us when you can work.
No, you just say, okay, every job has like a designated, you have sick days and you have personal days, and they're like, you could take them, whenever.
It depends on the jobs,
Yeah,
dude.
it definitely depends on the
Because,
It's true. But
the last job I had, they rolled it all into one. Your sick days and your vacation days are all in one bank.
I don't think I've ever had vacation or sick days at a restaurant.
Oh, really?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I used to bank them. We used to get sick and vacation.
I guess it depends on the bigger the corporation, the more structured it is.
Well, when it was a small but still a big independent broadcasting company, my vacation would roll over. I had the greatest vacation.
We would lose it at the end of the
year.
year.
It was so rad when I first started in radio. Like, there was a point in time where I had 3 months saved up that I could literally take off a quarter of a year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I never did. And then when it came
you
to,
should have done it.
Here's what the terrible punchline to this is. I had a decent amount of paid time off that I'd acquired just from being with the company for a certain period of time, and I'm supposed to be paid out of that paid time. And then per the end of my contract, they were allowed to decide whether or not they were going to pay me out of my paid time off, and they chose to not pay me out of my
They screwed you over?
Yeah, they fucked me over.
Wow.
Weird. It doesn't sound like the Clear
Yeah.
Line.
I wrote
doesn't sound like the $1 billion
I wrote
corporation.
actually, Steven did. Kramer wrote him a letter to kind of outline, like this is his time off, and he could really use this money right now, transitioning to and they're like, no.
Yeah.
You get nothing from us.
No giant corporations giving you shit they don't have to.
No.
Would have been close to $7,200. That would have gone a long way for somebody that didn't have any money.
That's mom and pop shit when they go above and beyond or bend the rules or give it to you anyway. Like corporate policy, they walk you out after 20 years.
Like a criminal.
They have a security guard
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
you out with your belongings, and you're like, I've been here for 25 years. Like, what are you thinking? I'm gonna kill everybody? And they're like, I'm sorry, this is part of we have to walk you out like a piece of shit.
But I like it. I
with
do.
your
I
plant
like it.
and your box of shit.
All right, next one. My child was running 104 fever, and I had to take her to the doctor. My boss said, but I have no one to cover your route, and the mail has to go out. I got verbally reprimanded for choosing my sick kid over people's mail. That was one of the many reasons I chose to leave the post office.
Man, I don't.
That's a rough
I do
one.
not want to be. I would never want to be a manager of a bunch of people that have.
Wait a minute.
That have
a bunch?
a hard job or the job is shitty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's
letter
gotta be the rough-
carrier, dude. Letter carrier is very difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, I guess, if you get in there and you enjoy it. And I know some people that really do, but man, most people are just shitting all over the post office. And if you work in the post office, like that line, oh my God, that's a tough ass
You're
job.
taking bundles of garbage and delivering it to everybody. He said it's all garbage at this point.
Wow, I mean, Amazon uses it.
The next guy was not allowed to take the day off to get married. What? He asked for the day off for his wedding. And
I've
they
heard
got
of that
denied.
before, though.
Did he ask off the day before?
He did not go into specifics.
Yeah, I've heard of that before where they you asked off, but it's also like the company's biggest, meeting or something. Well,
the day after the Super Bowl, I'm getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it is of course, give the employee off to get married, but that manager, some are dickheads. Some get that power complex and they just say no to everything. I've had that.
I want to be that guy. But I'm not.
Well, it's like the old, Clear Channel days when we have these huge events and stuff, and I'd ask the guy who put them all together for a fucking extra pair of tickets for my wife and a friend to come, and they're like, "Oh, I'll see what I can do." I'm like, "See what you can do." It's art like I'm on the show that the whole entire event is based off of. Like, you can't get a fucking 2 free tickets.
No, you're not important.
And then he'd end up giving it to me, but it
He'd
wasn't.
hold you hostage.
It would be like he came through at the last minute, and then that's what he wanted. Some some praise,
accolades that he pulled through for you.
Yeah. Even though I was like, I know
make me the hero.
And like that's a weird shit, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here with you. Like, just give me the goddamn tickets. Don't go through this goddamn song and dance about.
Man, I went through a lot to get these for you, buddy.
Yeah. It's just like, of course you have the tickets.
Wait a minute, that's what you do every time you get tickets for Samantha.
That is true. And also, they never come through.
Well, that's what I learned it from.
Next BDM, I got some kind of stomach bug in the middle of the day. It was not pretty, and I worked at a hospital. I was an office assistant, and honestly, not a lot happened that me being away for a few hours wouldn't hurt. The hospital had a rule that if you are actively vomiting or have diarrhea, you are not permitted to work. I tried everything I could to get a hold of my manager.
The phrase actively vomiting is funny. When you shut your mouth,
passive vomiting's fine.
I called, texted, emailed my manager and to tell her that I need to leave, and I could not get a hold of her, so I left. Per the hospital policy, she fired me the next day for shift abandonment. So because she couldn't get a hold of her manager and she was like deathly ill, she got fired for it for going home.
But she had diarrhea.
Even though it is the policy of the hospital that she worked at.
But
the other option would have been just to sit there and diarrhea.
I'm doing it. You could use the restroom. You have diarrhea a couple times.
Sometimes,
there's no left. There's no more left.
About diarrhea?
You can feel it's like dry heaving. Like it comes and there's no more diarrhea.
Lots of farting.
Do we have time for a hot take?
Sure.
Okay, I'm drinking lean, so I...
By the way, all these things, I feel like carrying the Olympic torch and graduation is better than all the other excuses.
Better than... Oh, yeah. No, I agree.
I thought about giving one of our... either mine or Butler's as an example to like set the bar, but then I was like, well, I don't want to spoil it. But these are a lot of like you're sick.
I take diarrhea off the national registry of being sick because
I like it.
I like it too, and I have diarrhea 1 out of every 3 is a diarrhea, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just level with you. Like you guys are using diarrhea as an excuse to get out of work, and I have a lot of diarrhea.
Dan uses his excuse to go to work.
Yeah.
He tells Andrew, I'm having diarrhea. I have to go to the studio.
But no, these people act as if their diarrhea. It's like they're a fire hose and it's whipping their body around in circles. It's like, look, you can control your fucking sphincter. You can walk to the bathroom, and then all you have to do when you sit down is just have some water come out of your ass.
It's taking a pee-pee out of your butt.
Yeah, it's not. You're not coughing. You're not barfing. You're not throwing up. You're not. It's not uncontrollable. It's not running down your legs. You guys are all. You use that as an excuse, but I say you work through that.
Yeah.
You just go to the bathroom and squirt, and then you wipe your ass and go to work. I mean, that's what I do, and I do it every day because I have IBS.
Yeah.
So what's different? What's the difference between you and me? Or me and you? I got diarrhea and IBS. What the fuck you got to do?
Diarrhea is not that bad, right? I feel like a migraine is worse than diarrhea.
Oh yeah, migraine's way worse than diarrhea.
Like a migraine,
I get migraines.
A migraine, sometimes you can't even open your eyes.
You can't think.
Yeah, you can't think. It's like, but diarrhea with Daniel has diarrhea. Every time he gets up to the bathroom, it's diarrhea.
I mean, you guys hear it.
Yeah. And then he comes back, he's perfectly fine.
I'm fast. I got the knowledge.
And after a certain amount, there's no more that can come out.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying,
that's the bad part.
There's not endless amounts of diarrhea.
Well, then you just go in there, and then you're just making roids.
Yeah.
If I were a cowboy, they would call me Roids Rogers.
Is there any more of that?
Yeah, there's more. So this one says, I needed to take a half day to sign some paperwork at a leasing office, and I was told it wouldn't be possible to give me half the shift off on a Friday.
Hold on, that's another one that no. You'd have to take a half day to sign some fucking paperwork? Not to be the dickhead boss. Come on, man.
Daniel,
Come on. Use a couple signatures.
I blatantly told them if I didn't have a place to live, it would be difficult to work. I had to take the penalty of an attendance point anyway. This was at a large call center in healthcare.
Yeah, I'm going now more towards the manager.
Bosses, yeah. Me and you, I see it in your eyes
because Samantha and Butler's story, it's like, come on, she's graduating from college. Like, she wants to walk across. Like, that's a big
life moment.
It's a milestone.
Yeah, she's never going to be able to do that again in life. Unless
First in the family.
Unless she gets her master's. But that's not even, the 4 year.
You can't say that anymore.
What?
Master's.
Oh, they canceled that one. But it's like getting your 4 year diploma is a life changing moment that could be you want.
I mean, it's really not. Now I'm back on that. I literally have a 4 year degree.
Also, how many people carry the torch? Like thousands. It's not even the real one. It's some shit.
And it can't be that hard. They let Muhammad Ali do it. He's got the shakes.
You know how to fuck Butler's grandpa.
That is the.
Let's go outside.
Grandpa Dijon. This next one, my mother-in-law was having an emergency quadruple bypass, and I called into my restaurant job and told them that she was having open heart surgery. The morning manager was like, "Oh my goodness, I hope she's okay. I'm praying for your family.
You got to get in here. This Bagel King's packed.
Take whatever time you need." As I'm waiting in the room around 4, the PM manager called me and asked if I'm coming in. I tell him no. I already spoke to the manager and explained that my mother-in-law was having heart surgery. He said, "Yeah, I know."
Oh, the mother-in-law?
Yeah.
I got you. Manager. It went for mom.
No, he said mother-in-law from the very beginning. You weren't listening.
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, I know, but you're not performing the surgery, are you?" I told him to go fuck himself and hung up.
Wait, that was a good exchange. He's like, "You're not performing the surgery, are you, fucking idiot? Get in there and sling these bagels." And he's like, "Fuck you." And he's all right, fuck you. I'm coming down there, beat your ass in front of your dead mother.
The manager's got a good point. It's like, what are you just sitting at home waiting?
Yeah.
For what?
You are just going to be sitting in
What
the
are you
waiting
going to do?
room.
You're just sitting in the hospital getting COVID. Get over here and get these bagels.
Yeah, you'll know if she dies. They'll let you know. Right?
God. That being said, in a couple of weeks, I need to take a day off.
You know, I will say
LASIK.
It's like the Larry David joke when he's like he's saying goodbye to his girlfriend at the airport, and she's like, "Do you want me to call you when you land?" And then he's like, "Nah, you don't need to do that. I'll know if the plane crash." It's true. It's like you'll know. You'll see it on the news. Like, oh shit, like a plane crash. Then you'll check like in the city.
I would rather find out that way than have her call me as the plane's going down.
Oh yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't call me if it's
don't
going down.
traumatize me.
Don't give me the let's roll as the thing's going down where you're like, we're about to storm the front. Yeah, no.
Because I can't do it. I'm just listening to you die.
I don't want to hear that. I tell Andrea that. I'm like, if you're walking through the woods.
Screaming. I'm like, no. Then it's just nothing.
I've had this conversation with Andrea before. I'm like, if you're walking through the woods and all you have is your cell phone, don't call me and put me on the line. I just want to talk to somebody to be safe. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Freaking me out,
If they start killing you, what am I going to do?
And what? I'm laying there in the bed. I'm laying in the bed pretending I'm in an alien spacecraft. I have the phone on my ear.
I'm just gonna listen to you
I'm
die.
terrified, and I'm in the alien ship.
Nothing I can do. Call the police.
I've already been abducted.
All right, let's do one more.
Just one more? Okay, let me see if I can find a good one.
Have you found one that really sticks out to this boss? Because so far a lot
the
of
emergency C-section, I think, so far is
We've
the most
had a
extreme.
lot of emergency C-sections, right?
Yeah.
Well,
do they cut?
Big-headed BDMs.
True story. A real question. Do they cut this way or they cut this? I don't know.
I think it's horizontal.
It's at your pant line.
Can you choose?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think they got it down to a science where it's like a small incision right on where your pants are. That way.
But sometimes when girls wear bikinis, I see it.
They've gotten better nowadays.
I just throwing that out there because I want everyone to be self-conscious.
There's a lot of people that ask their boss for the day off for their child to be being born, and their boss said no. There's a lot of those.
That's ridiculous. I
would give anyone here off to get an emergency C-section, and that's a Dan Dennis promise.
Well, I'm not doing that.
No, I'm just saying. I throw that out there. We may have other ladies that come to work here, and who knows how big this company gets.
I guess
we might start. Our dream is to start our sports bar.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of jobs that.
How do you guys feel about a funeral for a non-relative?
Non-relative
as bosses, would you give me or Butler the day off if it was someone that was
of course.
okay.
But the thing is, here's the difference between us. like you guys not coming, like it definitely hinders the day, but it doesn't stop our day. Like
Doesn't stop production. Yeah.
sometimes, like managers are put in the position where if they have an employee don't show up, it fucks over everybody there,
Right,
and they're all
right. That's a
everybody
little
else is
different.
pissed off at the
Well,
manager.
they need to hire more employees.
Yeah. Like, and then their job is to, sift out the bullshit, which is probably hard as hell nowadays. Like people will try to get away with everything.
I don't know. Some people hate them, but I think they're important, and it's a way to grieve and a way to almost get some closure. They're important to your brain. Mental health is important.
Well, I'll do one more, and then you guys got to pick a winner so
All
we
right,
can give these
okay.
Nikki Glazer tickets out. I asked for one day a week in advance because I was selling my car and going to buy another one in the same day. He said fine. Then the day of, I was supposed to have off. He calls me minutes after selling my car to tell me that I have to come in, and he's picking me up, and he'll find me a ride home. I got off work at 2 a.m. and had no ride. I had to call my buddy and wake him up and come drive into South Orlando to come and get me. I had explosive diarrhea.
Again.
Well, he did that because the boss fucked him over. So the next day he called out. He's just like, yeah, I'm just.
Wait, he got diarrhea because he was
He had
fucked over?
asked. He had asked for the day. He had asked for one day off a week in advance. The boss said fine, approved it. But then while that same day that he had asked off, the boss called him in and was like, hey, I'm going to come pick you up anyway. I'll bring you into work and I'll find you a ride home. And then at 2 a.m. he was stranded at his fucking job.
It's a tell that your boss was willing to come pick you up.
Yeah, that means you're working with a bunch of redneck trash people.
It means that the job is sketchy,
This
no matter
isn't-
what it
okay,
is.
You guys have offered to take me home before.
No, but this particular job does not sound like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need that presentation on my desk
Right,
immediately.
right.
I'll come pick you up and I'll
He's like
find
a
you a job. No,
welder
it sounds
or
like,
something.
hey man, I'm gonna come down there and I'm gonna get you. We need to get this shit done. We only got a window where we can get these illegal parrots into the crate.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me. It's some crazy.
Also, as the employee, you got to know what the environment you work in is and who your managers are and what the company is, and realize that, hey, this shit is either A, going to be run by the book corporate, you got X amount of sick days, X amount of vacation days, and they don't care as long as, they just have to fill out the timesheets for their boss.
Now, I used to be shamed, and you met me when I was shamed. I felt guilty about taking any time off, but I got so bitter and jaded towards the end where you and I would just have discussions where I'd just be like, I ain't coming in today. And you'd be like, that's cool, I'll hold it down. And you do the same with me. He'd message me like, I don't feel like coming in today. I'd be like, that's cool, I got it. And we just kind of, because it became they understood that, and I took as many days as I wanted.
But you had them all to take. That's the thing.
Well, I
and
did-
you were a good employee.
I did and
so
I didn't.
They fucked you.
They did fuck me
Either
over.
you're
but-
getting fucked or you're fucking over.
Or you have diarrhea.
And you know what sucks is it depends on your job too, right? Because if you guys back then wanted to just call out, you could. If you quote had the time, right?
Well, it depends on who was running the board.
Or if you let's say you wanted a day, a month off, or a day off a month in advance.
Yeah, you just you put it in there.
But they don't ask you why.
No.
And can they deny you because they
Yes.
would do that shit to
They
me
can't
all the
deny-
time?
No, you could take a person. You could take your personal day. I think they had in the corporate and
They
They
could
would
deny
ask
you.
reason for absence, and then they
but
they
you-
could straight up just deny you for whatever.
Well,
But you
Most
don't
of
tell
time
the
they did.
truth. You just say whatever reason's valid.
Yeah,
You
but
don't
it
say-
didn't matter. I'm telling you, it depends on the corporation, man.
Yeah.
Some of them don't give a fuck.
I used to have corporate restaurants that I would request off. I would have the day off. Someone else would call out that same day. They would call me back
Yes,
up and be like, "You have to
I've
come
had
in
that.
now." And I would be like, "Fuck you!"
I've had
like,
that.
and hang up the phone. Like, I'm sorry.
Like
I'm already at the beach, buddy.
The
Yeah,
only time I was
me
ever
too.
denied was when I needed to
Hold
run
on,
the
you've
board.
told me that before, you motherfucker. I'm like, hello, Mr. Butler. I'm we're at the beach, motherfucker. I'm
He
sorry.
would never
I'm,
say that
I'm
to you.
sorry. See you on Monday.
Enjoy your time.
Let's give the Nikki Glazer tickets to the lady who had the emergency C-section.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that's
Dig it.
ridiculous that you're going to get either fired or reprimanded for
That's insane.
having
For
a C-section.
reproducing.
Yeah.
Are we taking a break?
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back with some Dump 'em Out.
This is my pick of the week. The name of the band is Cheek Face. The name of the song is Emotional Rent Control. It's off of the Emphatically No album. I think you're going to like it. It's super quirky and weird. We'll be right back with more Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this.
I'm sorry for what I did with your heartfelt letter.
I think he's got a fade on that. That is our good buddy Pariah Mike. That's his band, The Cadaver Fly. Speechcraft's the name of the song off of the Pointless Effort record. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here, Butler's here, and welcome to the weekend, everybody.
Daniel brought up having, and it may be a Florida kid thing, or maybe it's all like, it doesn't matter where you are regionally, but we both had weight benches when we were like 14. How old were you?
13 or 14, yeah.
Puberty, right?
My dad took me to Sears, and we walked through the lawnmower section to the exercise equipment section, and my dad bought me a Sears and Roebuck weight bench so I would offset my small boy titties. Right? I said to you,
does that work though?
My
I think
question,
no, got to go through the bud season, right?
My dad doesn't know anything about science, or did
crazy.
Dare I say? I mean, right now would be a very confusing time for my father if he were alive. Let's just say that he would be all over the place. He would be fighting with me. There'd be like fighting with everybody. But anyway.
There's something wrong, just put some salt on it.
My dad took me to Sears, and we bought the Sears and Roebuck, the weight bench, and it had the two dumbbells that you could put the weights on and twist. They had the two curls, the arm, I guess, what are those?
Dumbbells.
Yeah, just dumbbells. And then it had the bench. And then it had the leg thing, but you didn't fucking use the leg thing.
No.
Yeah,
Tom certainly did.
The leg thing's gay. And then you would use the other thing, and it had the twisty. It didn't have the clamps. Mine had the twist on there.
The screw-on metal one.
Which took too long, and I knew the weight thing wasn't going to work for me because it would take too long, and I'd be like, this is boring. And I'd be like, that's the first rule of...
That's life.
Yeah, if you can't get through putting the screw on to keep the weights on, then you're never going to fucking work.
You got to leave those off in case you're lifting weights in your room by yourself, and the weight bench starts crushing you because you've lost all strength. Yeah. And so then you got to lean to the side and let all the way, ding, 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 and then let the weight of the other side rock at the bar.
We should do a poll in the Can you throw it in the BDM group from me? I want to ask how many guys, special points if you were a girl and had this, but I want to know how many Florida boys.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be Florida trash people.
Virginia blues need not apply.
I don't know, because my parents were Virginia trash, and a lot of the stories that you say are very similar to Florida trash.
We had a garage like a complete gym, so it wasn't like a bench, but we had like the bow thing and all that. It was like a bow flex.
Well, you had an older
the
brother.
Vineyard Vines.
I had an older brother.
You had your own private gym in your garage.
He got sailing team. He's got a bow flex.
I told my mom I wanted a weight bench because I had titty buds.
Yeah, it's all about titty buds.
And then so she was like, okay. And then she told my stepdad, Steve, and he had a buddy that had a rusty weight bench like in his carport.
Oh, you got a second hand.
Yeah, because he was in prison or some shit.
Is your dad going to wet sand it down?
No, Steve said, it's like, my buddy's got one. I drop him off when...
one of my buddies got it. He's a warlock. We'll sandblast
And then he brought it home.
Original 1%er weight bench.
It was rusty, and I remember it had a hole, like a big hole where the stuffing...
the yellow.
The yellow stuffing. Yeah. But it was like...
Was it black or red?
It was obviously a burn hole that it had gotten bigger. And
he set an ashtray there and his joint fell out.
Yeah, I was like, if someone was smoking while they bench pressed, or I don't know how they got a burn hole.
You've never seen that? 100% that's a Florida man thing. Smoke and lift weights.
Okay, hold on. Add some comments here. Sam, I got a lot for you to take down. Add some comments about burn holes in weight bench, because we're on to something here, man. We're on to something here.
And it stunk like the metal.
Well, because it'd been rained on.
Yeah, the metal. I would work out in my room.
And you'd have stink fingers. Fingers would smell like pennies.
And I'm certain you didn't wipe down the actual bench you lay on and sweat on, right?
No,
yeah.
I didn't even never wiped it down from the original when he gave it to me.
I think I put a Dukes of Hazzard or Confederate flag towel over.
Yeah, I did a couple bench presses. My titties were still there, and I was like, why don't they go away?
Yeah, I did that too.
Then I put laundry on it, and then it stayed in there for for a good 6 or 8 months.
I think
before,
I jacked off on mine a few times.
before my stepdad punted it into the dump.
Yeah, I remember what made me the most mad about my weight bench is I would walk through my room quick and nail my toes on the weights and bloody them. And then I'd get that weird ingrown toe, like where you've hit the nail into the actual foot part, and then I'd have to go in there with clippers and clip it out, and then it'd get infected, and I'd squeeze it, and green stuff would come out.
And you never had the equal amount of weight, both sides. Like I had like 125 plate. Then on the other side, I had like 2 10s and a 5.
And it would jingle as you lifted it
So it was
up.
like a whoppajawed. So like the one side was big, and then I put a bunch of tiny ones on the other because they came with like a mishmash of different weights and plates. They were all rusted in it, and in different forms of rust.
All right,
too.
wait, I got
one
more.
was completely, entirely rusted, and one was brand new. One was like in the mid stage of rust.
Did your weights match? Because I because my dad got me more weights secondhand, so I had some weights were more professional than mine, and they had the big hole, right, for the professional grade. There's probably an actual size where they're like, that's a 2.5.
Oh, that's a pro bar. Yeah.
But mine was more like that. So I had
The
some
kid
weights
bar,
that were big, and like you
So it
said,
would loosen.
it would loosen, it would wiggle waggle.
Oh, yeah.
I had that.
I
And
had one that was plastic with sand in it.
Yeah, that's for Meemaws.
Okay, yeah.
That's for grannies. Jameson in our chat room, this is why, Sam, you have a lot to take down, because this is even funnier. Maybe we open this up to just, because didn't you have that ab rolling machine you wanted to get rid of your?
I had the one that you pushed into your, like you hold both hands on both sides, and then it had a spring and a belly pad, and you...
It's a crunch machine.
Ab crunch.
Yeah, ab crunch, and then you pushed into it.
Okay,
and,
Jameson...
I had an ab roller.
It did not take my titties away.
Jameson in our Twitch chat room, he says, I had, quote, Gravity's Edge workout machine pumped by Lorenzo Lamas. That's dope. My mom had this thing that was like yellow ski ropes and little foot holes, and you put your feet in it, and it attached to the top of the door.
Oh, yeah.
And then she'd put her
The
hands in
bands.
it, and then she'd go in there, and I'd open the door, and then she'd be in there in her panties and bra, doing this with her bush all hanging out. And I'm like, oh, shit. My dad's like, look, what the fuck is that?
I like how no adult had any idea or concept of exercise because
my mom is laying on the floor whipping her arms and they're pushing around with the ski rope.
Now, if my son
did nothing,
if my sons asked for any of this exercise equipment, I'd be like, "Fuck no! Like you're never going to use it." Also, do you have any idea? Like it's all diet. If you want to actually look good,
You'd never tell your kids fuck no.
I would. Well, I would,
absolutely, boys.
I would.
Yeah,
no, I would. I'd be like, "This is a waste. You're not going to use the weight bench.
No, you'd buy it for him.
Lifting a couple rusty weights isn't going to get your titties
Just
away.
like
No,
when your mom bought you that guitar tie.
You
will
love
buy-
them
well, that was she was fucking with me.
No, you wanted it, so she bought it for you, even though she knew you'd look ridiculous.
I think she's right on this. You love those boys more than life itself, and I don't think anything was because you'd go.
I love them enough to tell them the truth.
No, you don't.
I do. I'll be like, this is not going to take your titties away, Max. Because Max is going to have the titties.
You knew it was going to be Max.
Tommy's a bird
I'll
chest.
cut that out. I'm going to fucking cut that out.
And then
Tommy is Slender Man.
I'm going to be like, you're going to have the diet will take the titties away. Lifting, doing some pectoral
and I'm gonna
exercises is good.
I already been telling Maisie right now, you're going to have to get implants. Because you ain't going to have nothing down there, and that's gross. I don't say that. I would never say that.
It's funny if you did, though.
There is a dad somewhere that does that, and that's not funny.
Remember when that one dad?
All Day Suckers?
All Day
Suckers,
It
yeah.
still sticks with me. It makes me laugh.
There's someone in the Twitch chat called All Day Yuckers.
Yeah.
When that dad left us a voicemail and called his daughter's
It rattled me. I've
breasts
never
All Day Suckers. It did rattle me.
I've never recovered from that.
That was pre-kids, and it rattled me before kids.
It rattled me before kids, too. I have never recovered from a man giving a tip of the hat to his own daughter's breasts. That's odd.
But by calling them all. Anyway, let's do some dump them out. Speaking of breasts.
We got too many topics on the list today. It's the end of the motherfucking show. So come on, baby, Let's dump them out and play. I wanna see your topics. Ooh, I wanna also see your bottomics. Dump them out. Dump them out. Everybody. Dump them out. Dump them out.
Dump 'em Out, brought to you by the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go, justcallmo.com. It's justcallmo.com.
Before we get into Dump 'em Out, do we want to go over this drink before we forget? Because we forgot last week. Or we did, didn't we?
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. My
Oh.
bad. Sorry. I stopped paying attention to this show an hour and a half ago.
Changing
Keep going. Canoe sprint.
Okay, so last night,
I zoned Butler out, so I didn't hear that part.
Is my wife starting to maybe resonate with you
No.
with some of her weird love for odd sports in the Olympics?
Well, Crystal, she turned on the goddamn Office again last night, and
You guys gotta get out of that.
We're both just looking at our phones anyway, so we just want something playing in the background, and she chose the Office.
music on or something.
I know.
You stole it right out of my mouth, dude.
I know.
Music all day long.
I know.
Music.
We should do something else. Anyway,
Put on Symphony Hall. I love
And I'm
listening
like,
to classical music.
we've
Some
seen
great
this shit
Star
a
Wars
million
audiobooks.
times.
Put on some sexy jams.
Let's put on the Olympics at least if we're gonna have background. It's it's good background watching.
It really is. It makes me wish that ESPN. Okay, they should have the talk shows. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
They should have the talk shows and SportsCenter. That's their bread and butter. But they should have a channel that literally just rolls. Because have you been to the streams that don't have commentary and it's just javelins? So it's quiet, and then it's just the audience. There's something about it that sucks you in even more.
Yeah.
Just try it. Trust me, just try it. It's great for background. You'll sit there, you'll be talking. Next thing you know, you've been watching it for 2 hours.
And it is interesting, even if you're not interested in the sport, you're like, these are the best people in the world at this particular
You know
sport.
what I like?
And that's
the
cool.
systems they go through. Like you see them.
Yeah.
Like the javelin girl, the girl that we have, the American girl who's like a favorite. You could see her running the equations in her head. She'd be like talking herself through. She'd be like, and she'd be like running it.
Yeah. It's super interesting. What the hell is this?
It is really neat.
I'm sorry. The woman who has the all-day suckers is in our chat room.
Oh, really?
She said, I'm ashamed to admit that was my dad.
Howdy, Miss Suckers. Glad to have you.
They're still sucking.
Don't talk about her suckers.
So,
how are they?
I turned on the Olympics last night, and I saw canoe sprint.
Yes.
And I'd never even heard of this before, and I didn't know this was an Olympic event, but
this morning I did the 46-second canoe sprint myself.
And what I saw, and they get in these tiny, super thin canoes, and they sit like almost like Captain Morgan.
They're taking a knee.
Yeah, they Tebow it.
It looks more like traditional style, like what whoever invented the canoe would ride the canoe.
Yeah, like some Polynesian,
Yeah,
like the
yes,
way the
poly
Polynesians
style,
did it from island to island or some
Yeah,
shit. It's probably
it
old.
looks very technical, yeah.
So they're sitting on this ultra skinny, sleek one-person canoe, and
That
they
probably
got
is super expensive.
with one knee down and one foot up, and then they're canoeing hard as fuck for it's like 3,000 meters or something. It's like,
Well, they have different. They have all gauges. They have
yeah.
the sprints that are like 200, 400, then they have 3,000, you know.
And these dudes, and they have the ladies' version too, they are, pumping, paddling as hard as they can each row and as fast as they can for a long time. I'm like, oh my God, and they're ripped. And then I started thinking, I was like, I wonder if this is the type of sport that they just convert like supreme CrossFit athletes that have incredible
Do you see them at the end
endurance.
when they're all gassed out?
Oh yeah.
It's
can barely...
weird because they're in the rhythm, so they look normal, right? When they're going, so you're like, oh, okay, you're watching them. But when they're done, they're dead. You know, they're just like
there's a little element of
not incumbent
like leaning and steering the canoe and staying like balance. I know, but for the most part, it's just whoever can last that long doing that extreme.
Well, I think
exercise.
there's an efficiency. I think they were talking about the it's strength, but there's an element of the finesse of getting that, almost like a cyclist. If you can get that stroke down where you're not wasting any energy, or you're doing a full rotation, or it's smooth. I don't know. It's definitely a physical science to it.
So I got another $100 challenge. Remember I did on the BDM show the $100.
Oh my God! Is Tuttle gonna race a canoe down to Jack? What is he doing?
Because while we were watching this, they zoomed in on like the Australian, and he was the by far the winner or whatever. And this guy is like, yeah, like like doing the canoe, and his pelvis is like thrusting with each stroke or whatever. And
it is.
And this guy is ripped, because you have to be in insane shape to do that. Like I said, these guys are superior athletes or whatever. And then we're watching it, and then we're like, me and Crystal are just like watching it in silence, like, oh my god. And then Crystal's like, imagine how good that guy could fuck.
Yeah.
And then I was
Sam
like,
agrees.
you're right. And then I was like, so here's the challenge.
You should step up your canoe game, bro.
I think that the canoe sprinters are the best at fucking in the Olympics.
How do we prove that? See, you're throwing bets out there that no one can prove.
Based on their sport and what they're doing, because
I
it's
think
about
we can figure this out.
There's a certain finesse and fluidity with the stroke and the extreme
canoe
endurance.
Sprinters are the greatest fuckers.
Yeah, even better than like the
Or
sprinters.
best at sex. I should
Surfers
say.
might be up there now too.
No, but is there motion?
It's the same thing. It's like,
hard and fast pumping.
Like
Hard and fast pumping.
but with a element
What about
of
a standard
motion
rower?
in the ocean.
What about a standard rower?
Still
No,
because they're
too staccato.
And then they have the other one
Too
where you only have
staccato.
one row.
Because if you
They're
watch
too
it, they are
skinny.
rolling their body. There is a lot of motion in the ocean.
I'm telling you, it's motion with extreme jacked bodies with the endurance to last. I mean, these guys. Imagine if they pumped you one time that hard each.
Oh, so it's like Superman.
200 pumps.
What about the power walkers? They got all the hips. They're moving those hips. They're grinding, man.
These guys are built for pumping. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
And if you show me another athlete,
you guys, get horny.
show me another sport.
People are saying gymnasts.
No, because
They are
doing.
flexible and they are strong as fuck.
But
Yeah,
they are doing a variety of things.
This is
and
male
they're-
only.
they're-
There's your flaw. This is male only.
They're good at spinning.
This doesn't increase the fuckability for ladies.
Yeah. This is a male thing.
This is a
I
male
think.
thing. But for ladies, you
I'm
might
saying-
have an argument with your gymnast.
Sure.
Because
On your
of flexibility,
your body
balance
fat,
beams,
balance.
splits.
Yeah. That would work for a gymnast. But
Balance.
I'm saying
Okay, dare I say the biggest problem that I have with my wife when she tries to frog is her balance. It's shitty. It's all
and
over the
endurance.
place. And I tell
You got to
her,
get a headboard with
no,
a rail.
no, that's cheating. I tell her you got to work on your core. You look like a fat tub of shit. You got to work on your core.
Next time. This is the jizz shirt.
Yeah, what's going on with this jizz shirt?
So
no, Butler almost got fired again yesterday.
What? I missed
In a
it.
fit of rage.
Yesterday, we were all taken off, and it was the end of the day, and I was right before I left, and I had spilt smoothie on my shirt on the drive over. Right.
You also had a big blob of cum in your hair. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was Wednesday. I saw that.
No, that's my hair product.
But Sam,
That
or
was
is
in
it?
front of the Hourglass Brewing guys,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
felt
God
weird
damn
about
it.
it.
Yeah,
Well, tell me about it.
Sam said
It was
and they
literally
heard
as
it.
we were leaving. I was like,
You want them to tell you? I tell you, and I'm chopping. They tell you, and it's like, thanks
Yeah,
a
but
lot,
you
guys.
tell them loud in front of the Hourglass guys. You're like, hey,
You
glad
got
to see
coming.
you. Come here. Or you go, Tom, come here.
So again, let me.
That would be you, 100%.
I know we've explained this a million times, but this is the chopper. This is what choppers do, and I'll explain. So
Why are we saying chopper, and why aren't we just saying dumb person?
there's a difference. There's a
Okay.
difference. There's a difference.
Okay, explain.
So the
You wouldn't employ a dumb person.
so the
That's what I keep telling myself.
every once in a while, you come across a person that has an unfortunate deformity from birth, right? Like
Yes.
it happens in life, right?
happens in life.
And
We've been talking about it.
And as adults, we all have experienced, like, there's a person that walks in the room, or you see, or whatever you work with somewhere.
Yeah.
And they have a hand, like, let's say, Mr. Claw, the BDM.
Oh
the
yeah.
claw.
There's you walk into the business and you walk up to the person and you need you're going to the kiosk and you look and one of their sleeves is pinned down and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and that
That's not bad. It's just
sometimes, well, the sleeve pinned down or like the missing legs or something, that there's a little bit of a difference because
I like the pin over the roll, and I like the pin over the tuck because the pin makes me think you're military service.
But
Thank you.
that could have been an accident, and then it's a little bit even maybe appropriate, or it's still not appropriate, but I can understand asking the person, hey, what happened? Because it's like,
let's
obviously,
take that out of society. Let's not ask people what happened.
Still not appropriate, but this is worse. And
I
I'm
like
going to
to
explain
I like
Butler's
to look at it and
chopping
be like,
this.
hello. That's what I did.
When it's obviously a genetic deformity from birth, some unfortunate thing that happened, like you have like 3 Mambo Ninja Turtle fingers, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like
They're
you don't
thicker
get
than your
You coming
average.
on your shirt is not a deformity.
don't. So they still.
He gave him the Shadol.
When they have a genetic deformity, when there's like a tiny chicken hand or like,
Oh,
no, I'm
man.
seriously, no,
That's one of my favorites.
it's obviously something they were born with, like that, like a vat of toxic acid didn't fall in them, or they didn't.
That's very rare.
You know,
Yeah.
like some sort, like this was from birth, and the rest of us in society, we just never mention it, right?
Well,
Go
it's
about your
rude
day.
to do so, yeah.
Don't
Yeah, you
stare
shouldn't
at
point
it.
it out.
You know, when you shake the person's hand in your head, you go,
But
God, like
sometimes,
but
sometimes I wonder why they're even offering it. You know, if you have a chicken hand and you were all, I mean, like, sometimes I'm like, what you're in for.
But anyway,
you know?
we all are in the same understanding that this person was born with some deformity. Let's just not talk about it. Let's go about our
don't
day.
ask, don't tell.
Yeah, let's just go.
Because it really isn't a big deal.
Go
And it
about our
doesn't
business.
define that person at all, right?
It's obviously from birth, like it's a complicated genetic situation or something,
Yeah.
and it's something
It's bigger than we are.
Something unfortunate happens, right? We all know. Butler will ask, "What happened to your hand, bro?" Because
he will.
that's what a chopper does. Of course, what happened to his hand? He was born with it. Why'd you ask that and make everybody uncomfortable? Butler, when I walked in, I have the smoothie on my shirt, and Butler's like, "Did you come on your shirt?"
He did say that immediately.
And then I asked Butler, I was like, what if I did?
That's exactly
Do you
how
want
he
to
said
ask your fucking boss if he came on his shirt? Also,
that's exactly how he said. He goes, "What the fuck if I want?" Like it was like that, and I'm like, "I'm over here editing," so I did one of these. I did the peek over.
It's like it's obviously not.
We didn't know that. No, hold on, we don't know that.
We don't know that.
But
you're right, because here's the problem, though, Tom. You have to take partial responsibility here because you do not create boundaries amongst yourself as a boss with your employees to the fact that he feels comfortable asking his boss if he jizzed on his own shirt.
Yeah, every other day this week.
I think he feels uncomfortable asking. That's the weirdest
No, he
part.
felt very comfortable because every other day you've asked us, you've come running in saying, "Look at my cum on my shirt." No, you haven't. But I'm just saying, yes, he feels very comfortable just shouting things.
If your boss did have a white cum stain on his shirt, that probably is a smoothie or something he ate for lunch that day.
Why wouldn't it be cum? Why would it be more a smoothie than cum?
It could be deodorant.
Maybe deodorant. It could be a lot of things.
Be a
Or
lot.
it could be cum,
Or it
which is
could
the
be cum.
worst possible scenario when you ask your boss, "Hey, did you cum in your shirt, bro?" Because if he did, he's going to be pissed that you mentioned it.
You could have said, "I did. Wish it was deodorant."
It's only bad for yourself. That's what the bizarre thing about being a chopper is. It's like he's not doing it for himself. This is bad for you.
I mean, is there a scenario in your
I don't know why
mind
you're doing
at
it.
any other company where Butler walks in? Let's take a real business scenario where Butler works at a radio station. You're the boss. He walks in. He goes, "Hey, is it cum on your shirt?" And you're like, "You're fired." Is that a real?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
that
sure.
real?
Listen, I am 100% positive Butler's been fired for being a chopper. Like, there's no way around it. So he did some chopping shit in some former
There's one
job.
incident.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about
Of course.
And what happened?
I'm sure there's more.
I would have bet my life.
Remember.
I mean, yeah, for
All right,
sure.
what did you chop?
Oh, it was when I got fired from Ruby Tuesdays. It was a prank war where I put some ice in the back of my buddy's clog shoes, and he retaliated by throwing boiling water on the back of my leg. We both got fired.
Boiling water? That's an upgrade.
Yeah, it should have been a lawsuit, but I'm like Tom. I was too
trying to
awkward. I just
kill
went
you.
home. Yeah.
It's I like
That'd be chopping.
like you threw boiling water at another
So what you did to
employee.
retaliate? I threw an acid bomb in his face
Yeah.
and disfigured him. No big deal.
You just didn't realize the coffee water was so hot.
Okay, I had to wear Crocs at Hourglass.
Yeah, I got photo evidence. I
Yeah, you
posted
can
it
hear
on
that
the
tonight
Medium
on
Group.
ACT. Oh,
Yes.
did you email Casey to give
I
that
did,
a listen?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
And it's my own fault because you guys have told me we're throwing axes today. Wear closed-toed shoes.
I even texted in the morning, which is normally Sam's job, but I figured I'd give her the morning off.
And I ignored it like every text that you guys send me.
I know you
And
did.
I showed up here, and then Butler's like, "You didn't wear shoes." I was like, fuck it, it's fine." Like,
Yeah, they're the owners to let me do what I want.
Yeah.
I'm the plant daddy. Yeah, we know.
I was like, "We're in there, it's fine." If I'll
Yeah.
how about I not drop an axe on my toe? I won't do
It
that.
won't be that hard.
But because of insurance and stuff, you have to wear closed-toed shoes.
Your feet are prone to accidents, though.
That's true.
Accidents. I get
Hey.
it.
And they have Crocs there that they clean every time someone uses, but in case someone does go in sandals.
Now, I found it a little, I don't know, a little liberal for you to pick the teal Crocs over the American flag Crocs.
The American, they were too big. The American flag.
He had little feet over there.
You know what? Patriotism can never be too big, sir.
Yeah, there's like a size 12. They
were
Shaqs.
It is funny that those are the only two options they had were teal and American
Tiny
flag.
teals and big Shaq American flag.
And so I had to put on the Crocs to throw the goddamn axes. And no, you guys.
You loved
didn't.
it, though.
How did they feel?
It felt like I was wearing plastic shit. Like,
oh my god!
Like I was garbage can shoes. It's just rubber, goddamn nurse shoes or whatever.
Inmate.
Like it's something you would have to clean, do a lot of cleaning. Like they're industrial. And I'd rather have my feet exposed to the air. Like I'm putting it in.
We wouldn't.
Hot.
Hey, there it is.
I have thought about the fact that now I have Band-Aids on my feet and stuff. It's
a lot worse.
You know what I think of when I see people
Mo
like that?
was here today, and I was like, God damn it.
I did hide them from Mo. I put them under
I have a rule about Band-Aids, man. If you get a lot of Band-Aids on your body, I start thinking you got AIDS and shit.
Or leprosy or something. Yeah.
Just like the baby. No, I'm kidding.
There is Band-Aids and black eyes will.
Band-Aids.
That's a great Band-Aid. Oh, shit.
I look at a lot of Band-Aids. If you have a lot of Band-Aids, I start to think that you're like slept in an alleyway or like
bad at life.
it's like a thing.
Something's
You're
going
a
on.
little dirty.
Yeah, like why do you have a black eye? Like you didn't get
And
that.
don't
From
even
Donating your plasma for drugs.
And don't get me started on like the elbow with the floppy Band-Aid. Oh, if you have a floppy Band-Aid, I'm like, what are you, a cartoon?
Yeah. And to the servers out there that have Band-Aids on their hands, like, don't bring it up because of just go we all see them.
Pretend it doesn't exist.
Okay,
Yeah.
Would you
I got
prefer a
another
condom
one.
finger or a Band-Aid?
Oh, I hate condom finger.
Oh, Crystal
Condom
found
finger.
or macaroni.
It's like a little sleeve you put over your Band-Aid finger so you don't. It's your Band-Aid's not
it's a
contaminated.
I've never
It's
seen
a
that.
finger cot. Yeah, it's like a
Never
little
seen
thing you put on there. It looks like a little condom.
Yeah. Remember when Crystal found one in her macaroni salad at
No!
a wing place that we took her to?
Found a baby condom.
That was before she didn't even tell anybody. Like she just didn't eat it.
Just set it aside.
And I was like, God damn!
I found
was
a
like,
Band-Aid.
You want her bitch back then?
When I lived in Deltona, I ordered a Caesar salad from some mom and pop Italian restaurant, and I opened the salad up, and there was a Band-Aid in it, and the Band-Aid had a little red, like it's in the center of the bag. I'm like, that's an upgraded Band-Aid. Because normally you get a Band-Aid, it's just a Band-Aid, but this Band-Aid, active blood was in it. I'm like, wow, that shit's live. I was like, that's close.
This still has AIDS.
Anyway. The last topic is.
Why'd we get all sad? Like, oh, Band-Aids. Remember when?
It was gross.
We had a guest in, and this will actually be it's gonna make the end of the year award show. But
Spoilers all day on this
sorry,
guy.
that was
This guy.
anyway. No one gets to the
Can't
end.
keep a
so it's
secret.
fine.
Jeez Louise.
And the guest, she was mixing cocktails for us, and at the end, we were.
What are you gonna say? It sounds like you're gonna say it. I held her down.
It sounds like you're going to do a public apology for some
You're
fucked
like,
up
there was a
shit.
guest,
got tired.
You were like before the end of the
Take
show.
a sip of your drink.
There was a
I
guest
like
that was
beer.
here. I was inappropriate to her. I pulled my genitals out. I
I
exposed
jizzed on my shirt.
And then Butler mentioned it after in front of
Butler mentioned it in front of her. I used my influence to hold her down. What are you doing?
We were goofy during the segment, and I say ridiculous shit, and we both get
Yeah,
joking.
she understands. She told us that she
But I
missed
Well,
think
some
here's
of
the
our
thing. She was
shows.
an attractive lady. She was making a string.
So
I
had
think
nothing to
Tom
do-
was getting nervous.
No,
Why were you getting nervous? She said, I know what I'm in for. I listened to the show. I know
She
what
did
you
say that?
Yeah, thank
No,
you, Sam. If you listen to people, you'd never be awkward.
Yeah, but we're doing an odd thing when we're doing a segment. We're going crazy, saying shit, just crazy shit. I know. I just feel
we're
that.
not going crazy. We're not like ripping our
Yeah,
shirt
yeah.
off. I'm not
But
just
we're-
jacketed, pulling my hair out.
Shitting on tables.
But when we're done with it, then we're off the air. I'm like, hey, just to let you know, all we were.
This
playing.
is all. We're just playing around. I'm not really in love with you.
Radio.
Just so you know, I
Which makes
I
it
don't
more
find you
awkward.
attractive at all. I'm a married
No.
man. No need. I can't.
I do find myself starting to explain situations or
I
tell
tell
people
you,
this.
don't
I know. God damn it.
There was one time he was
I
talking.
make
to one
it
of our-
worse. I make it more
Yeah, you
awkward.
do.
There was
got
one
awkward.
time we were in contract negotiations, and he had one of our bosses on, and you started explaining our master plan to them. And I go, stop.
Yeah,
That's
you did the
plan.
yell. You did yell it. I'm like, everything I'm saying right
That's
now
kinda
is
choppery.
It's a bluff. I can't lie.
Like, don't tell the plan.
Yeah.
He was like, this is what we're prepared to do, but, you know, we'd never do that. I'm like, oh, we'd never do that. You just... Don't tell them we'd never do it.
I'm bad. Yeah, I think I'm bad at like manipulation. I can't do it. Like,
that
I-
means you're
that's for
honest.
sure.
That just means you're honest. There's nothing wrong with
no,
that.
but there's certain times where you should be just don't tell. Like you
Bad
can be
poker face.
You can be honest and just not tell the fucking truth. You don't have to.
You're an entry-level
if they
shopper.
ask you,
Just withhold certain things.
You're
You
right.
don't have to lie. Just don't tell all your business.
That's what Daniel was saying. I just told them all everything. I'm like,
So what happened?
this is the plan. And no, I just told her that we were doing this. She's like, oh yeah. But then you guys were all
He's like, basically, it's like, I'm not really that stupid, right?
Well, that's exactly what you said.
yeah.
And she was like, oh,
I knew she didn't believe me, by the way.
Hey, little baby.
Yeah. Also, she didn't care if I was or wasn't.
No, she just want to get the fuck out of here, and you would stop talking to her.
Do you think maybe without, because I know you think that, or you say that you don't care what people think,
Which is a lie.
but do you think he cares maybe more what people think? And I think that I've done a pretty decent job of accepting that I am a dad potato now. And that's all I am. Because, like, that lady doesn't rattle me at all because I realize that I don't matter in her world.
You know, I
have such low does that make sense? My self-esteem is so low that nothing matters.
I don't.
That used to be his motto. He's changed.
No,
He
but
has changed. It's these plants.
I don't care what people think if it's true because I already know it. Like, so it's like they tell me.
That's a lie because you say that you don't care, but you won't wear Crocs because you're worried about what other people think about you looking nerdy.
No,
but you already know you're a fucking nerd. You're a plant nerd.
That's for me. I think they're nerdy, so I don't want to wear them.
He's
because,
taking it back. Okay, I understand
like,
that one.
It's not really what other people, because other people don't give a shit. I realize, like, no one cares what some old dad
never look at my
is
feet.
wearing.
Funny, but you'll rock a headband in public, but you're scared of the Crocs.
Yeah,
That looks nerdier.
For
But
some,
that's for him.
It's front and
Hold
center
on.
on your fucking head.
Brett Michaels wears that page. He's a fucking king of rock.
No one has ever said that.
They have the name. Get us an interview with Brett Michaels, the new king of rock.
He loves skulls. How could he be not cool and love skulls?
Oh God!
I've had so much fun today.
That's it.
Well, let's say a little. We needed to have some fun today, did we not?
Yeah.
Because
It's a rough week.
It's been a rough week, and it's been a rough week within the Tom and Dan community, with certainly within the BDM community, and we didn't know when we wanted to do this, but we obviously wanted to say something about our friend Craig.
Yeah, he passed away, and we all knew him, and I did business with him. He owned a company that advertised with us, and and the
This
fact
is a
that
person that touched our lives, that we've hugged, that we've seen.
he's posted in the BDM page when he went to the hospital, and he passed away from COVID, and it was super sad, and he left his family, and we were all fucked up from it, and we were like, my God, this is super sad, and so there's a GoFundMe that we have on the BDM page, Craig Coleman, if you want to donate to it, but anyway, so
I wanted to read something that Bustecker sent me just to share how long sometimes these people have been with us and been in our lives, and just to share maybe to those of you that might be new to our program how much we certainly do value our long-lasting relationships that we've had with the listeners that we've known. I mean, you and I collectively have been broadcasting. I'm nearing 30. You're nearing 25 or 20. Like that's a lot of years to be doing this. But Bus sent me this on Tuesday. He said, I saw that Craig passed away. I'm not sure I really knew him, but we may have met at a T&D event at some point. But I went back and looked if he had ever messaged me, and it turns out I messaged him back in 2012 when you left the Monsters. I wanted to use a quote he wrote for the story I was writing, and this is what he said. Quote, "Hey, Double D, I know 1,000 people have told you already, but you were so important in making the Monsters what they were. I tried listening today, and it wasn't at all the same. Looking forward to your next venture. Double D, Tuttle, and Drunky the Bear, fuck the world." Sounds like he was a fan for a very long time, and this sucks, and I hope that you guys are doing well.
Yep. So here's to Craig.
Craig, we love you, buddy.
Everyone, take a sip.
Get my drink here. To Craig. And thank you for the recipe, Joey.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
Semantics.
Yeah. So tomorrow we're going to be recording with Owen and Mike B from the Oh No Radio Show. So if you want to send us an email or voicemail, you can do that. And
Two of the greats.
That will be released this Sunday.
Two of the greats.
If you are swinging by Hourglass, their Longwood location's huge, by the way. If you're looking, like, you can go in there and have some beers at a table and not be anywhere near anybody because it's such a gigantic complex.
It's worth stopping by.
Grab some gibbets, some Tom and Dan gibbets.
Don't say grab some gibbets.
It's it lets them know that you went there because of us, so it helps us.
Yeah, swing by there if you want a tasty beer and something cool for your Crocs. You can swing through Hourglass
and throw some axes. So it's a pretty good time.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
We covered new merch. Oh, do me a huge favor if you are new to the program, like and subscribe. Hit buttons on the Twitch and like and subscribe on YouTube. Both Tom and Dan Live. That's all you need to do is just fill out Tom and Dan Live or search for that. You'll find us. Like and subscribe to that, and you'll get all of our video feeds.
And BDMs, be safe out there.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves.
See you guys.
I can't publish that. It's mediocre.